Hello, and welcome to Roller Winter Monday. It's Monday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We are here as usual. What's going on, everybody? Hey, it's going to be a nice day today. 90-something degrees, though, kind of warm. Safe Driver Week is next week. Get ready. Driver posted a flyer and got arrested. What? House passed the $2 million liability insurance. Will it pass in the Senate? FMCSA is going to allow more distractions in your windshield. Isn't that great? Where your drive cam can be placed, where all this other goofy stuff can be placed. They want to increase where it can go. Joey Chestnut ate all the wieners. He shoved them all in, and there's also a female winner who I have, I don't ever know. Oh, Michelle Lesko, right? She shoved a bunch of wieners in her face, too. So, pretty good over the weekend. Stocks fueled Dogecoin as usual. I don't know why I do that Dogecoin. I just think it's interesting following it. It's pretty low this week. So, and this week's show sponsored by, it's time to get traveling. That's the thing. It's time to travel. It's time to hit the airways. And Pan Am is ready to take you where you want to go. So get those tickets on Pan Am. It's time to start traveling. That's right. Time to travel on Pan Am. So welcome, everybody. Pan Am welcomes you as well to their beautiful cabins in the sky. So, Trucker Hershey's here. Let's see. Wait a minute, though. I'm No Veggie was first the other day. Then Trucker Hershey and Cassius King Trucking, very close. And today I had Kevin first today. So that's pretty good. Thank you for being here, everybody. Kelly is here today. Steel Horse, hot dog buns, and more fun. It's Roller Winter Monday. Right. Sun's out, buns out today. I'll tell you that. It's going to be a hot one here today. Daycab Gear Jammer is here. It's good to see you. Dominic, hello. George Costanza is here. I love it. Big country. Yeah, yep. Haven't been here for a while. Glad to see you back. James Bowman is here. Let's see. Where am I going here? Oh, John Zablak is here. I always mess that one up. Boy. Chicken Hauler, what's happening today from Alabama? Cassius King Trucking, what's going on? Joan Harper is here. Roger Penske. Get some brat and some cheese. Nice. It's kind of warm out for that. Creature 937 is here. I hear the cat crunching over there, so that's bothering me. The grumpy trucker. Enjoying a morning Starbucks. Oh, very fancy. Do you have your finger up like that? Super nice. Luke 1234 took my motorcycle in for service. Wow. What kind of bike? I had a couple bikes, so KZ400 was the last bike. As you can see, it's been a while. Richard Thompson, hi from another holiday layover. Nice. Saw a lot of people were working this weekend, so that was pretty good. If you could get some good money over the weekend, I guess, work it on up. Trucker Hershey, most drivers have their personal dash cam in a bad area anyway. Yeah, I agree. The thing is that the FMCSA wants to change the placement of these drive cams, lane keeping, and all this other stuff. To where it really shouldn't be, in my opinion. And I agree. Why do people have their dash cams up in their view also? Get it out of your view. Holy mackerel. What's the discount code? Oh, Trucking Answers. Always use the discount code Trucking Answers to get a good discount on your next ticket. Paul Harris flies Eastern. Oh, you probably get all the points and all that, on your card for flying Eastern. That kind of thing. So I totally understand that, And remember, if you use Pan Am with your Carte Blanche card, you also get an extra discount that way. So that's pretty good. Alexandra's here today. Hello, what's going on? You take CSX Air, John? Nice. Kelly, morning, Cash. I got a video of fireworks uploading. Oh, fancy. Didn't see any fireworks here. Heard them a lot. Have the day off from trucking school. Really? Oh, so they're closed today? Tell them to get out. Drivers got to work today. They should be working today. My people, well, Mark's people also, I loved him too, Al. Everybody's their own people, right? So welcome, everybody. I prefer Eastern or Northwest Orient. Oh, right, Northwest Orient, that's good too. All these go good with a Carte Blanche card, by the way. But, of course, since Pan Am's sponsoring, we're going to have Trucking Answers as the discount code. Where's your Emily post? Roger Penske, nice. Buns and Wiener's always out at the manhole. That's pretty much true. Made it out of Chicago before traffic. I'm sure it was a disaster. We'll start right off with the wiener news. Joey Chestnut eats, let's see, where do we go? 76 wieners in 10 minutes with their buns. By the way, that is a new record. And I don't know if that's a record you hang on your wall with grace or with disgust. Either way. And Michelle Lesko ate 30 3/4 wieners in the same 10 minutes to win the women's division. of the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. So that's pretty good. Let me tell you what, 76 in 10 minutes. You got look, you're firing off a wiener in your face about every 5 seconds, including the bun. So that's nothing to sneeze at, and you wouldn't want to sneeze. And I didn't look it up, although I just thought of it now. I don't know what that weighs. How many in a pound? 8 per pound, maybe, of wieners. So that's quite a few pounds of the wieners. And remember, you have to eat the bun too. Usually, I've seen them like dunk them in water and then eat them. I don't know. Doesn't seem like it'd be a great lunch, but I guess it's free and you get a T-shirt. So, love the livery and brand. Pan Am Lockerbie tragedy. Well, everybody's got tragedies that they have to live through. Jonathan, remind me never to park in the city during New Year's and July 4th. Yeah, whatever city, don't ever park in it. Right. TJ Jones in the Bull of Woods, new ORY gun in Portland. Where's that? New Oregon in Portland. Northwest Oregon is Portland. It's too hot out. I'm literally melting in the seat, Alexander. I know. And the dew point here is going to be in the 70s. It's going to be like Houston. If you can stay in, stay in. And I saw there was a Petro, right? Trucker Hershey, I think, posted that doesn't have air conditioning, and they're not going to fix it. They're going to fix it. I mean, nobody's going to come to work. Even for $68,000 or whatever, believe me, they're going to fix it. Maybe not today. I use my Diners Club and American Express traveler's checks. Always carry your money in traveler's checks, too. Usually what I do, though, I'll just go somewhere and have somebody wire me money. So that's also a good way to do it. George flies Braniff or Ozark. Yeah, see, that's why Pan Am is starting to do some advertising, because people are going off to these other airlines. John ate a cabbage roll in 10 minutes, so you and the wife could do that. I don't know about, I'm not a big cabbage fan. And pretty horrible in my opinion. But hey, if you want to eat a cabbage roll in 10 minutes, be my guest. I get those, especially at Christmas time. Somebody will bring a big pot of cabbage rolls and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, thanks. Luke doesn't have to return to work until 7 a.m. tomorrow. So that's another question. Who's getting paid? Is everybody getting paid for today? Whether you're working or not, I think today's a federal holiday and certainly the holiday of all holidays, and you certainly should get paid for it. Joan, it's hot, no doubt. It's swelter up there today. I thought gas would go up over the weekend, too. It didn't. So, was kind of disappointed. I thought, gas is going to go up. I thought, I got everything figured out. I don't. I felt like I was back in Afghanistan. Was it that humid there? I never went to Afghanistan. Is it humid there, though? I mean, that's really the problem we're having here, which is the Houston problem, as I say, in the South. We're going to hit a dew point, in the low 70s, and that's pretty much miserable. 70 is where it's considered terrible, oppressive. Al Johnson, they throw those hot dogs back into the wild, right? It's catch and release. Those, they got to keep them. You're required to keep those dogs. Enron is the best place to invest. Alexander, all your money's in Enron, waiting for I put most of my money into Celadon at, a tenth of a cent a share or whatever I'm in. It's Mr. Plow. Hey, Mark, I think I had too much fun at the manhole. They threw me out the front door. Really? I didn't know there was a front door. Everybody comes in the back door at the manhole. So I didn't actually know there was a way in the front. So I'm paid. Luke is paid for off today. Exactly. You should get a day's pay for today, a holiday. Certainly something. There's still these few companies out here that not giving holidays out. I think that's going by the wayside finally, but I guess there's still a few that don't pay you a holiday. What is up with that? Al's salary, so I guess, yeah, look, if you're salary and if you're off today and you get the whole week, then yes. If you got to work today, you should get paid for today and your work for today. So if you're in salary, you should get 6 days if you're working, 5 days if you're not working. Then it's a holiday. If you're getting paid regular, you're not really getting paid anything, right? Kelly, I think GP Transco pays for today. Good. Paid holiday. I would say probably 90, at least 80% of companies now pay holidays. It used to be way less. It's most places now, by far the majority of companies. But I just know there's a few out there not paying their people. Anybody here from Western Express? Are they paying for today? Probably not. They're probably busy sitting around. George Costanza, you should be sponsored by Greyhound, given how much great publicity you used to give them on your old crap company. Yeah, Greyhound. Boy, that's the way to really travel, isn't it? Going Greyhound, boy. There's nothing better than that one driver I saw in a video some time ago who was in Virginia and CR England greyhounded them to Salt Lake City, and it was like 3 days and 4 hours, he said. That's just a great way to get somebody to your place, isn't it? Joan Guest went up there. Yeah, we're looking at 306 as of today. Didn't go up over the weekend. I was surprised. I didn't need any gas. I got it last week because I thought, oh, it might go up next week. So everything's sitting here full, still full, and didn't need it. Too bad. Roger, I'm off to LA later on, then more solar panel parts to Calexico. Really? I thought they make them everywhere else and ship them in here. Gas went up 30 cents in Iowa. Really? We saw like nothing happen here to gas. Was 306 to 311 over the weekend. It didn't really change. I was really surprised. Even over by Meyer, which is right on the interstate, I looked around at those gas stations over there. Nothing. And only a couple of Teslas charging too. I was surprised about that. I thought I'd see the chargers full. Roger Penske, trucker coach finally got on with GP Transco. All right, yeah, and GP said that he was going to lease a truck with them. So we'll see how that goes. I never recommend that to anybody at any company, including theirs, so I certainly hope he's successful there. I don't wish anybody to not be successful. I hope it goes good, and that he makes videos about it to see how it goes. I won't be going. I don't know how many emails I got now. Mark, are you going to go to GP Transco? I am not. So I am not going because they're a road company, so I won't be going there. I ate 26 hot dogs at the New York City State Fair in 2013. George Costanza wasn't even close to winning. I threw up. Can't believe Joey can do it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you practice to eat 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes. That's like 5 seconds a dog with the bun. They all have to have buns. So keep that in mind. And that's a huge stack of them. It's really something. 20. Look, you got to give yourself credit. 26 is a lot. That's still a lot. But does anybody win? When you eat 76 hot dogs, is there really a winner? Does anybody win that? Gas everywhere I've been the last week is over $3. Trucker Hershey. Yeah, it's over $3. It's been up well over $3 here. No question about that. So just expecting that. Only fly TWA, better on time record. Yeah, the Pan Am is not always on time, but hey, worth it for the discount, right? Company pays 10 hours yesterday for the holiday. Pat Oaks. Yeah, that's good. So you got a day's pay, right, basically. And excellent for a holiday that you don't have to work, or even if you do. Now, John, being a middle management corporate suck-up, pinhead holidays don't apply. I want to get my office and employees straightened out. If I have to work, I will just go in and do stuff. Nice. Well, I think you should get a paid day, especially office people. You should certainly get paid, Joan Harper, 319 to 330. Really? What's going on down there? Why is it so much there? 330. Yikes. George Wilson, my dad passed away. George Edward Wilson, 4133 to 62821, 88. Oh, was proud dad and husband and Teamster in his time. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. That's pretty sad. I mean, when anybody has to pass away. So I'm very sorry to hear that about your dad. Dave Johnson, I'm getting my flat rate plus 8 hours holiday pay. Good. Giving you extra pay? Awesome. Hear about the tanker that blew up in Summit, Illinois? No, I heard about this LAPD tanker, which we talked about the other day. Sort of a tanker. It hauls fireworks, and they blew themselves up, so that was pretty good. I didn't hear about one blown up in Illinois. Condolences to George for that. John Shaw's. Nice. I don't know why my TWA stocks keep losing money. I don't understand it. I mean, we're back to traveling. Everybody's back out traveling now, right? So everything should be going back, literally taking back off. Imagine the visit to the toilet after eating 70 hot dogs. Jerry Rocks. Yeah, I bet they has to stay there. The salt in a hot dog and nitrates and all that, I mean, would just be incredible. I cannot imagine, or how many calories. I don't know how many calories in a hot dog. And just you would gain 8 or 10 pounds just from eating them all. Diesel price is only 10 cents more than gas on the Gulf. All right, so diesel I have here, the EPA average country 330 for diesel today. Eastern TWA, Northwest Orient, Pan Am, Braniff, Continental, U.S. Express, America West, all absorbed into the big three. That's probably true. I think Delta did a lot of the Pan Am runs for a while. So, Not sure, but it's stupid. Yeah, your gas, of course, at least you have a tiny car down there, so it's not like a big problem. Meaning if you don't go that far, it's not as a big a deal with people commuting in an F-350 to work, Death is life's great reward. That depends how you look at that, I suppose. Illinois averaging 336 for regular gas. Illinois is always higher. I do tell people that you never know when that day comes for you, so whatever you're going to do in your life, get to it. TWA stockholders got Delta stock. Okay, so it was a Delta to TWA. All right. I do the Hot Wings challenge at Wings, etc. They have a challenge? There's one of those here. Has the hurricane hit yet in Florida? John, no, it's downgraded to a tropical storm. And it was in Cuba earlier today. It was picking up some cigars, and it was going to drop them off in Florida, I guess, for people. But that's as far as they had said for that. It's going up there. I got my friend who had who had a couple of organs transplanted, lives in Florida because that's where the transplant hospital was. And he said they're not expecting anything too serious in the Tampa area. So there you go for that. He received a kidney and liver in a transplant in one operation. How about that? Central California diesel and gas is $4. Well, we expect that in California. I mean, that way they can keep their air clean and have their wonderful living conditions that they have for, right? Yikes. It's Mr. Plow. Should be tomorrow. Let's see. I missed the... no hurricane. Yeah, it's going to be a tropical storm, though. I guess downgraded. Not going to be as bad as they thought. You can live through it. People there are kind of expecting it, don't they? I don't know. We'll see what they get if they get through it. Oh, this truck driver. Okay, so look, this is the craziest thing. And this is why we're not on Mars. Happy after 4th broke down. I got the end of my night early. Figured since I got all that sleep, I'd catch a live show. Big, huge Mike. Well, I appreciate it. You're awake for the show, and you can hear about this truck driver. So, say you're a parent, whether you're a parent or not, and you have a kid. Okay. And you see this flyer. Now, it didn't say where this truck driver posted these flyers, and some of you may have seen this. They're handwritten, about the size of a piece of paper, right? And it says on the flyer, and I can imagine this posted at the grocery store, like at the Penny Saver one, with the numbers at the bottom that tear off or whatever. Okay. Hey, do you want your boy, it says, right, meaning a little boy, to get responsibility and see the country? I'm a truck driver, and I'll take your child around the country with me on my runs. We'll go to amusement parks, and I'll teach him responsibility. And call me. Would you send your young son with some person who posts a flyer either at the grocery store or wherever? I don't know actually where it was posted, but say you see this, maybe it's at the TA or something, so he sticks this piece of paper up. Do you send, oh, you know what, I got an 8-year-old boy, hey, why don't you go with this guy who I don't know? Yep. And what do you think happened? Yes, that's correct. Why else would you do that? So, I don't know why the parents aren't arrested in this. The truck driver arrested, facing about 30 years in prison, of course. Federal, right? Because of state lines. But who sends their kid with somebody like that? Should you even have kids? You're the same people that need the thing in the car that says, hey, why don't you check the back seat? You might have forgot your kid back there. So, yeah, incredible. Hey, here's a good post. Tear the number. You see like a couple numbers already torn off, so you tear one of the numbers off at the bottom, like where it says free dog or whatever. Unbelievable. Let's see. Let's see where. Wonder how many companies have taken Connecticut off their place to go. Yeah, nobody. Everybody loves Connecticut. George Wilson, thank you for your kindness. Well, look, thank you for being here, and I am sorry about your dad passing. That is tough. I remember that, and it's not great. Why are the cigars green and brown? Why are the black beans black? I don't know. Just say no. Yeah, exactly. Tropical storms are like 6 to 8 inch snowstorm in the Midwest. Take precautions, but not too many people panic, especially there, right, Alexander? They're used to it. He said, it's not going to be a big deal. It's not even putting up plywood. So, which is good. Sounds suspicious. Oh, really? Big Huge Mike, really? Does that kind of thing sound suspicious? I'll take your young boy with me to teach him responsibility and go to amusement parks around the country? I'm sure that's not suspicious at all. Floridans have gators in their backyard. Right. They're worried about being eaten when they just go out to get the mail. Musafar. Mark is a really nice guy. He's a motivational speaker for the sarcastic. Maybe Mork is. I agree with that. Nope, I would not send my child with him. Really, Joan? That doesn't seem like a good idea for your young boy. The thing is, it's stupid enough to post this flyer. But the other side of it is, you get people to go with him. Oh, yeah, parents are like, oh, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Why don't you go with this truck driver for a few weeks? Truckers Against Trafficking would get that flyer. Somebody should send it to them. And I don't know, that might be how he got caught, for all I know. John, I was a kid 60 years ago. Would your parents have sent you even 60 years ago with somebody? Trucker Hershey, did somebody actually send their kid with that driver? Yes. Yes, he's getting charged with crimes against numerous children. So, yes, they did. That's the thing of it. It's stupid enough. He should be arrested just for posting it and never see the light of day, because you don't want that person out. But then parents send their kid with him. Hey, you know what? Hey, Johnny, or whatever your little name is, why don't you go with this guy over here? Sure, it's going to be great. You guys can go see the Loves and the J and all that. People are still going to deliver to Connecticut. The only thing that's going to change is the price for the product because of the tax. Yeah, I saw that a little bit. Who sends their kids? Is anyone seeing what is happening on the border? It's the same instance as sending your child with a stranger. Yeah, exactly, except people do. You know, cars now, new cars alert you to your kid in the back seat because you're so dumb you can't even figure out your own kid. And what they've said, which just disgusts me on some of these automotive podcasts, hey, you know, so you don't forget your kid, I swear to you, they said this on the Consumer Reports one of all things. Why don't you put something important back there like your briefcase that you'll remember? That's what they said. Hey, how about something important is already back there like your kid? They want you to put something that you're really important about, though, your briefcase. Look, your job is not as important as your family. I'll tell you that. It isn't. Do not forget your kid. We had 4 kids here growing up. Wife had 4 kids, right? Never forgot them in the car anywhere. And the car didn't remind me. They were with me. They come out of the car. When I go inside, they go with me. Was the driver's name pedophile? It's going to be. And what I thought is I hope they alert all the other inmates there to this kind of thing. I might just circulate that letter around the prison block, you know? Annette, I did Greyhound bus from Oklahoma to Florida. It's long. Yes, that's horrible enough. Imagine going from Virginia to Salt Lake City. And you can't really sleep because there's tons of stops along the way. Your longest stretch is a few hours at a time. You're up and down all night. Find out if you eat 100 wings, you get free drinks for a week. That's it? I'd only get soda. I don't drink. Today is Grease Your Fifth Wheel Day. Oh, that's a good idea. I thought that's nearly every day. And certainly if you have an automatic release fifth wheel, once a week is grease your internal parts on your automatic release fifth wheel. I don't even know how people could trust some stranger with their kids. Big, huge Mike. I know. And then to send your kid away like that with somebody is crazy. The parent should be arrested and sterilized. You're supposed to grease your fifth wheel only if the company does it. Let them take care of it. I only do the insides of it so it works. Or otherwise, the top never gets greased. It's rusty. It only gets greased during services, which sometimes are 6 or 8 months apart. And so it's got tons of rust on it and everything. But the underside, I do keep greased so that the automatic release works. 60 years ago, that would have been understandable. But today, still, what if it was 100% innocently intended? Okay, well, it could be innocently intended. I would say there's probably better ways to, show kids responsibility than have them go with you alone in a truck. You have to actually think like, okay, maybe it's 100% innocent. He really wants to improve kids' lives and teach them responsibility. You got to think of the other side of it. What is a parent going to think about that? It's just not a great idea. Go volunteer at, somewhere in your town, as a big brother or something like that, rather than actually taking some kid with you that from a flyer you post. Yeah. Nolan, candy and a van are dead giveaway, so he graduates at theme parks in the semi. Yeah, the semi probably didn't have any windows either, like the white van, windowless van. Roger Penske, how much for your women and the little girl? Yeah, the Blues Brothers, right? When they go in that restaurant, right? Since they're getting, hey, how much for the women? Your little girl, how much? We will eat at this restaurant every day, 3 meals a day until you agree to rejoin the band. People that have not seen the Blues Brothers should go watch it immediately. Pennsylvania Hillbilly and Redneck Association. Nice. That sounds very official. Do you think a modern over-the-road truck driver could stay fit and healthy while almost living on the road? Sure, absolutely. There's places dedicated to helping you do that. Yeah, absolutely they could. Most of us don't, but you certainly could. All you got to do is get out and walk and stuff every day, just get your exercise every day. Yeah, absolutely. Get a job where you unload. Go work at Cisco. Pennsylvania, you sure can. Yeah, you need that Ram that was on your Sunday rant. I looked at that, right? I'm not really a truck person, so probably wouldn't be getting a pickup truck. But of all the other trucks that are there, they had that Rebel, and then there were like 5 other pickup trucks there that were just regular, on all season tires and that. And I thought, you know what? If you're going to get one of these trucks, this is the truck to get. This one really looks like a truck. So, by the way, that truck was $62,005 sticker price. Sticker. Deep Prince hit the like button. I appreciate that. Right. George sends, I got 2 drops for Ameristar. One in Philly, and is that like Americold? And the other in Boston for hopefully tomorrow afternoon, but like maybe Wednesday. I hate the Northeast. That would be terrible. I would already not be looking forward to it. Trucker Hershey Greyhound, wouldn't be better to catch them a ride with a company driver? I don't know why companies don't do that, but I would say probably a lot of drivers don't like it. They should fly you in. I think that shows a little bit more professionalism even than hitching a ride on another truck. Just give you a plane ticket. Pan Am, they can get a discount on Pan Am by using the code Trucking Answers right now. So there's also, there's that way to go. Limousine. So, look, Amtrak people in, although that's the most expensive way to travel. No, Kent P, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Ken P up there. You can automatically grease your fifth wheel when you eat your rolling wieners. Look, I would say that, what's his face? Joey Chestnut can grease his fifth wheel coming up, I'll tell you that. My parents always told me strangers have the best candy. I'll show myself out. Nice. Yeah, this guy didn't need candy. He just posted a flyer. He didn't even have to pay anything. So I just find it incredible. And apparently his... he wasn't 100%, on the up and up because numerous crimes he's being charged with against children across state lines. But even so, there's certainly better ways to help kids. Go volunteer at the Y. If you really want to help kids or something, don't take them in your truck alone. Oh my gosh. John M., I must give you credit. I am stuck in a new Cascadia, 41,000 miles. My regular ride has no driver annoyances. I mean driver assist, ready to shoot it or pull the fuses. Yeah. You can turn, at least in our truck, the steering assist in these new Cascadias, you can turn it off. There's a button on the dashboard. Forget the letters on it or whatever. When you hit that, it turns off. Just press all the buttons. The steering assist. I kind of like it. I'm using it, so I usually let it run itself. Still horse. Oh, you have the pad, so it's a greaseless fifth wheel. All right. So, right. Some fifth wheels have these greaseless pad inserts, they look like on there. And the trailers and fifth wheels are never greased. That's actually the best idea. I don't know why companies don't do that. Maybe, I guess I couldn't because I don't just pull our trailers, so that'd be a problem. But for you guys, you're always pulling your own trailers. So, yeah, absolutely. It saves them all the grease and the mess and everything. Drivers aren't going to do it, basically, and it's probably not by the shop enough to get it done. Jimmy Ray Bubbaloo. Greetings from Salt Lake City. Thanks for doing the show today. Helps the day go by faster. What company do you work for? Oh, nice. Thank you for being here from the headquarters of England. Go in there and tell the Englands I said hi. Tomorrow, I'm sure they're not at work today. So, I do the show every week at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on Mondays. And sometimes slip another show in like we did last week live. Anyway, I just don't say who I work for. It keeps them out of your videos. I think if you start doing videos or whatever online, do not mention your company. It'd just be a better idea, I think. And then you can say what you want. I also don't recruit for them. So could, but not doing it. So that's what I do for that. And that's how we go here. How much do lumpers get per mile? More than most drivers. Actually, the lumper probably doesn't make much of that $700 that you paid to get 4 pallets off. They probably get $10 an hour or something. Gold Picard, greetings from home. Really enjoying this heat. I know. Of course, it's nice in here. The air blasting in here and a couple of fans running. So pretty good. $5 late fee. Some TAs and Petros have a map of a walking trail. Yeah, I've seen that. To help keep you in shape, map at the edge of the parking lot. Drivers need the map, I guess. Some drivers probably don't know how to use a map anymore. But there's walking trails and stuff at TAs. You can just go walk, imagine all the things you'll see just walking around the parking lot. So new people you get to meet, that's pretty awesome. Had the cops called on me when I took my nephew with me last summer. Really? What were you doing to him? I mean, I'm starting with Hale tomorrow. First time company driver, David. All right, well, let me know how that goes. How are you getting there? Or is it in your town? Alexander, I prefer to drive from A to B. Flying is no bueno. Look, I'm with you, depending where it is, but Greyhound is not the greatest way to go. Tell them, look, I'll take a rental car and bring it over there. That'd be fine, too. But driving, or flying, if you don't want to do it, fine. But Greyhound, no. That's certainly no bueno. That's even less buenos. Is TWA the sponsor for today's show? No, we have Pan Am today. Pan Am is up today. Use the code Trucking Answers and get a discount on your next flight on Pan Am. Just because you can physically make a baby doesn't mean you should. Daycab Gear Jammer. Yeah, you got to think, maybe I won't send my kid with somebody who posted a flyer in the grocery store or wherever they posted this flyer. Maybe that's not a greatest idea to do. I don't know. Musafar, OMD, 1 meal a day is the way to stay relatively fit on the road. Just shove it all in one meal. 4 quarter-pounders with cheese. Once you get used to it, you can do it 1 to 2 days. Your testosterone and ketones go through the roof. Nice. All my owns. Something else that's crazy is parents letting their kids take the mystery depopulation jab. Oh, no. That's 13 and over, at least in Indiana. So I don't know how that works otherwise. Causes a natural HGH concentration to seriously increase. That's a lot of letters. And here's an official Pennsylvania Hillbilly and Redneck Association official site. Thanks, a good call. You're now an honorary member of the association. I appreciate it, and hopefully I get all the benefits and that comes with that. What's the best way to grease a fifth wheel? The Teflon pads, right? That's correct. Then you don't have to worry about it. But then some companies, like here, they're too cheap to do that, and they don't ever grease it, so they get all rusty. George Costanza, I'm a country boy, man. New Jersey makes me edgy. New Jersey makes everybody edgy. Our lube jockey of the Carmichael Cartage would pretend to decorate a cake and use blue grease and red grease. They have different color greases for that. That's pretty good. Look, you got to give the guy credit for making it festive and everything. Right, John? Are all those ladies I see walking in the parking lot exercising? Yeah, those are all just probably drivers that are just out walking, getting their steps in for the day or whatever. Absolutely. Every once in a while, though, it's a long walk. They got to rest in different trucks. Just take a break, and then get back out to walking again. Yeah. Vamp Press Morning from Needles, California, I assume. Can't get a one-way rental car anymore, Trucker Hershey. Don't you just pay extra for it? If I remember right, you just pay extra for the one-way rental, and they could rent a U-Haul one-way. I will say that. Those you can one-way. I'd rather take a U-Haul pickup truck to wherever I'm going than, take a Greyhound. What did the roller wiener machine look like, Joan? Okay, so they did send me a picture. The person that got it, and I don't think I've seen his name yet here today, did send a picture of the roller wiener machine, and it looks just like the one at the truck stop. It looks exactly, without the cover, it looks just like that. It's got a bunch of rollers on it, and I don't know how many wieners you could put on it at a time. A dozen? At least. It looks just like that. Incredible. So it literally is a roller wiener machine. If TA in Ontario, California had trails, there would be a lot lizard at every resting station. Yeah, not resting. I got a Dodge Charger set as a rental going to Schuster's, Alexander. So did you one-way it, right? Didn't you one-way that car? And plus, I think a company, especially these larger places that run a lot of people in, could probably work something out with a car rental company and say, look, we need to rent a lot of cars, but we're going to have to one-way them. And I think a company might be open to that, maybe. Even so, there's still no excuse for putting you on a Greyhound. Whatever they got to do, Greyhound is not the answer. John M., they're doing their stretching, right? Now that I'm first, I'm not sure what's next. Exactly. That's it. That's the pinnacle. I still don't know why travel buses have some bunks for people hot rack so some people can't sleep. Why don't, in Japan, I've seen videos of this. There are travel buses where they have like a room where you sleep in it. And that might not be a bad way to travel. But this Greyhound, where you just have a seat for 3 days, and you're living on truck stop burritos and no showers, I mean, no. And who knows who's sitting next to you. What are you doing with those spoons? Right. Hey, greetings from Phoenix, Hunter Brown. I'm down for today since everyone is celebrating the 4th on the 5th. Right. Thanks to you, now I'm on salary, so I'm good. It's $1,800 a week no matter what. Exactly. So you're basically getting holiday pay for not working on a salary of $1,800. That's awesome. That's all we can ever ask of a place, right? Get paid. I use olive oil. Works on connectors also. Really? Can olive oil take the pressure of that? Stillhorse rented a car one way in Texas last year. Yeah, so some places will rent you one way. There's got to be a one-way rental. Otherwise, how would they get cars around? Would just cost maybe an extra charge or whatever. Intermittent fasting increases our number of days we can live here, providing we don't do something stupid like eating too many roller wieners. Well, like Joey Chestnut, 76 in 10 minutes. Is that too many? Is that too many? Yeah, I wonder how many the average person eats a year. It's probably more than you eat in a year. Alexander, one-way and SRT V8 Hemi. Way overkill, but I love 550-mile drive. That's pretty awesome. And they pay for the gas, too. You turn in like a gas thing of like $450. Here's $450 of gas. Probably kind of rich smelling after a crack on ride of 3 days. That's what I'm saying. Kelly, they never seem to stop long enough where you could even grab a shower or whatever. You know, they're not stopping at a truck stop for several hours. So the longest stop is going to be at the terminals. It's just horrible. By the end of that, the bus must be, I can't imagine how many of those little trees that have to be hanging off the visor. I worked as a lumper, Al Johns. They used the fee to pay for the equipment to pay the manager employees a kickback in the warehouse. Not sure. It's a scam like everything else. That's true, but the only reason it goes on, though, is because companies pay it. If no company paid it, they couldn't charge it. What if every company tomorrow told Walmart, we're not paying your lumpers? You either get your stuff off or you're not getting anything. Walmart could never sustain itself without outside carriers. Musavar, yeah, so many interesting women on the Hound. That's true. You can meet a lot of new and exciting people on there. Had an accident happen in front of me on I-44 last week. Two idiots were turning in a crossover. So left lane slowed into pickup, slammed into a car in the median. That's awesome. Isn't that great? There's tons of accidents this week. I wrote a bunch of them down with trucks. This is why we get these cameras and stuff. I use a squeegee at the fuel line to clean my fifth wheel before re-greasing it. Absolutely. That's because it's full of Dawn. So it's always got to be cleaned before you're being used. Should I lease from the company I work for? You shouldn't lease from anybody. You should go buy the truck yourself at an outside place and go put it on, lease it to a company. When I can't sleep on the ground, I just count the face tattoos until I fall asleep like sheep. Wow, that'd be a while. Hey, aren't you Mike Tyson? Breakdown, call Enterprise, they'll pick you up. That's correct. Enterprise comes and gets you. Hey, we'll come and get you. The private touring coaches might stop long enough, but way more spendy. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Greyhound is never at a truck stop long enough for you to run in, and most of the people on Greyhound probably don't know there are showers in there that you can purchase. The general public is very surprised at that. When I've told my family about that over time, they're like, just anybody can buy a shower? I'm like, yeah, anybody can just go in there and buy a shower. Then like, why do some drivers smell bad? I'm like, well, that's another story. Do not rent in Texas. Just use your gun. Hey, give me that car right now. Except everybody there's got a gun. They're like, we don't think so. Troy, good afternoon. Are you still doing it better? I do. There's some out there occasionally. Do we run out of good companies? There's not that many. Any recommendations for me in Charlotte? Well, I like G&P down there in the southeast for sure, right off the top of my head. After a few days, I actually start to smell like a very strong, rich cheese in my overalls. That's not great. We want to try and get a shower every day. Certainly, people not driving today, no excuse to show up tomorrow stinky. Good morning. I've driven a truck for 20 years, over 20 years. I really enjoy the program and insights. I'm semi-retired. Semi-retired. Get it? Out of the trucking industry now and taking care of my severely autistic son. All right, well, that's pretty awesome because that's what's more important, right? Family. That's more important than any job. No job is important. I got caught in a traffic jam on I-5 North at the Oregon-California border. 2 miles an hour over the top. Kelly, that's how it used to be when we had, 290-horse engines. So you weren't doing much better than that before. Lease fleets are all the rage these days, Rocky. That's exactly correct. I've seen tons of ads for this. Every other place, hey, come and lease here because they know they can get drivers to just make their truck payments for them. How awesome is that? Hey, well, let's have let's have all the drivers pay our truck payments, and then we won't give them any benefits, and they'll think they're getting ahead that way. Good idea, Johnson. You get promoted. George Casanta, who do I drive for? Oh, that's interesting. I just got asked that recently. So we just keep them out of the videos, right? Look, if you're doing videos, keep your company out of your videos. Otherwise, they're going to say, don't say this. You can say that. You're not represent us. Keep them out of there. That's how we do it here. Cash King Trucking. Wear my blue Parrots in public, so when I talk to myself, people don't look at me funny. That's good. Walk around with the headset on, and people will think, hey, oh, that person's on the phone. And they'll think you're a doctor because people don't have phones yet. That's why people talk so loud at the truck stop to impress everyone else, I assume. Dennis, being a stay-at-home autism dad is the toughest job I've ever had and the most rewarding. Enjoy listening to you and keeping in touch with the career I've left behind. Dennis, well, maybe someday that career can come back up. You just never know. And there's more that you can do in trucking. You don't have to go be a driver. There's lots of different things to do if you want to do it. But for everybody, right, family and your time away from your job, that's what's more important than anything. You can always go get a job. But you only get one shot around through family. If you tell me Greyhound, I don't need to work there, Van Priss. Exactly. Immediately, we're like, no. Because you already know they're only spending $30 to send you across the country. They don't want any interest in you at all. And you can only bring a couple of things with you. Forget it. Al Johns, I love all these comments that Mark reads without worrying. Then when he reads mine, he has to edit. Exactly. Depends what's on there. I try to quickly read through. Partly because of what is said on some comments, but partly because of what YouTube might say. So we also don't want to, upset the YouTube people and be banned. So we got to think about that too. Always trying to think that way as well. Some small truck stops give CDL discounts. Still? Are there any small truck stops left? The same one that gives you S&H green stamps. You drove for 20 years. How many showers did that include? Some people do shower on the road. I tried to never go more than a day, really, and always get 5 showers a week on the road was my goal every week. 5 showers a week at least. I'm not going days and days and days without a shower. You got to fill up and sleep. Go in there and take a shower. So because you're just roading. You're like, I don't want to be like this out here. I don't want to live like an animal on the road. Just don't. There's no point to that. What's the point of it? So for me, try and get a shower. Make it a point to take care of your hygiene. There was a story in the news the other day, Cash King Trucking. In Texas, a motorcycle rider pulled a gun on a lady in a car, and the lady shot him dead in the street. That's awesome. He probably just kept driving, too, and probably got an award for it. And I say to that, awesome. Be careful who you pull a gun on. Don't bring a gun to a gunfight. A Kelly was fueling up, and a pickup truck came in to fill up and asked him if he'd like to swap fuel bills. Was it somebody commuting in an F-350? Stevens, C.J. Hudson. Stevens apparently dropped a temporary guarantee for rookies. 9 months promised $950 a week. Ain't that great? Getting desperate. Maybe good changes are coming. Yeah, look, that's not terrible. $950, and look, the guarantee is just if there are problems. A lot of companies are doing guarantees, and it's a good idea. You get stuck somewhere, and then the truck breaks down, and then you have problems. You're at least going to make $950 at least at that place. So a guarantee is always worth it. Always worth it. I like AARL trucking the best. I wonder where that is. I prefer my own driving skills over any bus line. Well, I don't prefer the bus line because who knows what's going to fall out of your bag when you get out of the bus. Are people on here paid to ask you who you work for? If so, sign me up. No, they are not. So there you go. John's. You related to the Bullops restaurant people. Oh, I didn't know there's why does everybody in the CB sound like they're from the deep south? Silver, I think either that's the only people talking out there, or they think the CB's still relevant, where like you have to talk on it all the time. Yeah, I did notice that too. Everybody becomes like somebody from NASCAR on there or something. Cash Daycab Gear Jammer. Cash King once did a live feed about how Mega can haul cheap freight because they're really making money on the truck lease payments. Yeah, people should go watch that. I totally would agree with that. They make the money on the truck, and companies shouldn't make money on you that way, from you paying them. Everything that they sell you should be at cost, even including all their stuff, hats, whatever it is that they sell, should be cost. They shouldn't be making money on people. And the truck, absolutely. They've taken away all your benefits. Like being paid for today. For instance, if you're leasing a truck from Prime, you're not going to get paid for today. Isn't that great? But the company drivers there might. I don't know if they have holiday pay. But you're not going to. And that's not great. All that stuff adds up at the end of the year. Medical insurance, vacations, all that all adds up. Cash King Trucking, be sure to tip your host, you scallywags. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Always appreciated, and it's good to see you on there. Let's see, where did and then I lost my spot, so that's good. Let's see. You got to think that way, Mark. I'm just a moron. Al Johns. Look, it's no problem, right? It isn't a problem. I don't say anything to anybody basically about it, but I always have to be thinking, and background too. Can I do a video here? It depends on the background. Like people might have been doing video at July 4th or whatever. There's background music. You can't post that on YouTube, okay, without the rights to the music, which you don't own. So that kind of stuff, you have to think about that stuff all the time. I'd buy that, and they'd make money by volume as well, right? Is the Roller Arena Emporium still open? I haven't heard about it in a while. It is, right? But they sponsor at different places, so absolutely, Joe's is still available. I assume that today they'll be having a celebration and probably have Joey Chestnut there signing autographs. Do you care if people know where you work? If you do, just not say their name for plausibility, deniability. If you say something they don't like. The thing is, right, when you say where you work, like my company and a lot of places have a policy, and I've seen this in other driver manuals that people sent me when you read through the whole manual, that when you go online in either their uniform or with their stuff in the background and you go, I work here, then you have a problem, because if you say something they don't like, they're going to come and say, hey, we don't like what you're saying. Take that down, and you can lose your job and stuff over it. It's not worth it to me. For that, to lose my job. So I just keep them out of it. I don't even involve them in it. That's why I don't do videos of the truck or whatever. I just keep them out of it. And then they don't say anything to me because they got nothing to say about it. And I think that's the best way for everybody to do it if you're going to do anything online. I'm not here talking about them. I'm here just talking about, trucking in general. And so I'll just keep them out of it. I just think it works out better for me anyways. It's Mr. Plow. Cassius King is right. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Holy mackerel. Initial V for the host, Kat. She was sleeping in the bed. Then she came out and crunched, and I guess she went back to sleep. So, but she will appreciate that. Catnip for her. Kelly, it's psychological skullduggery. I appreciate it. Look, thank you very much. That's much appreciated. Believe me. And the cat appreciates it too, even though she doesn't show it as much other than biting me. He was on my feet. He was in an F-350 dually towing some ATV. Exactly. So at least doesn't commute in it. But yeah, for some weekend fun. He's having fun. Well, we're working. J.S. Hellwig gave 4 cents. I'm at 56 cents. What do you think about that? So everybody's in the high 50s now. Pretty good. I'll take it, right? It's Mr. Plow. You off today? Absolutely. Paid holiday for me. We are paid and off. In the last 2 years, I've noticed the service at TA going straight off a cliff. It's like the TA doesn't want truckers in their business model. Almost no fuel discounts. Yeah, because they're not truck stops anymore, right? It's a travel center. They get more business from the public, and so they're kind of like, let's keep these truck drivers over here where we don't have to be bothered with them anymore. And they get all these discounts, at places, so... Megas can also pull cheap rate because they self-insure. Others pay $1,000 a month to truckers, right? They're all self-insured for the first so many hundreds of thousands of dollars or whatever, and it's great. And then if they can get the driver to pay for the truck, they're even better off. I was just asking because Mr. Costanza's been here long enough to hear the 100 times. Yeah, well, that's how it goes. Your CB equals children's band. It can. Sometimes. There's 40 channels and people don't use all of them. Maybe they should. Pennsylvania Hillbilly. I tell CBS that have a southern accent filter. Oh, nice. You sell them. You sell CBs that have a southern accent filter. That's how it goes. Well, you must sell a lot of them. You must be like a millionaire. Not trucking related, but how's the podcast coming? Okay, first topic, clumping litter versus regular litter. Okay, so I recorded one. I got it started. I have to call them tomorrow during business hours because... it didn't post, all right? And I have actually another podcast that I have like 180 episodes of. And so I know how to post a podcast on there, and it didn't post. I don't know why it didn't restart. It'll be up this week sometime, believe me. That'll be this week. First topic, I don't know if it'll be clumping versus regular litter because it's all clumping here. So Mr. King, was my late fee applicable for tip purposes? No, that's separate. I'm glad I was able to catch your live show. But I have to get back to my family. Well, I appreciate that. I hope everyone has a wonderful 4th, and thank you for your veterans for your service to our country. All right, well, thank you very much for being here. And, like I always say, right, family, most important thing. Family, friends, nothing else really matters. Without that, what's the point? Job? Did I get the Roller Arena Vax? Did not get it. Did not get the Roller Arena Vax. I believe you said I was first today. You were. You were on my screen. What do we do now? Well... We do that thing that they do when you're first. Pennsylvania Hillbilly, bye, buddy. I got to go eat a roller wiener with the Saudi water. All right. Well, thank you for being here, and I appreciate you having your official site here. Prime lease drivers make the real money years down the road from the class action. That's where you go to work at Prime. Down the road, that's very good. There's a big check coming from the class action settlement that they're going to do. Because every few years, there's another one. There's another one and another one every few years. This cat knows the only settlement that matters are shreds. Frisky shreds. And that for a cat is only enough for a few days, because as soon as there's any white in the bowl, you got to come over and do something with him or you get in trouble. By the way, looking for a 1984 Oldsmobile G-Body. Prefer a 440 engine. Alexandra, I don't think you can get a 440 in an Oldsmobile G-Body. So that would be something to see. Let's see Gracie sleeping. There's plenty of her doing that around here, believe me. I'll see if I can get one of those posted tomorrow. Or for next week. Watch what you do on a camera while you're on the job. Absolutely, right? When you're at work, just make sure you're at work. Like there's this driver, there's this big accident. Holy mackerel. Truck pileup in Arizona, 5 people killed. The driver didn't know if traffic was stopped or whatever and just killed a bunch of people. So don't be filming yourself when you're driving, is my opinion. I see some people doing this. I don't think so. You're not paying attention to what you're doing. Let's just drive. I think it's funny when certain Christian-based trucking companies still rip off drivers. Well, yeah, they can post whatever they want on their truck. That doesn't mean anything, right? They shouldn't charge them interest either then, I suppose, right? And also not work them on, Sabbath. We'll see about that. Schneider had MTV took down because he made a video about how the lease really works. Schneider, was that a channel? Yeah, see, that's the problem. So, they probably told him to take it down because they probably couldn't get YouTube to take that down, but they could fire you, that kind of thing. And so that's the thing. So they only get their point of view out. So it's no good. You got to post about places you don't work or whatever. But yeah, they could write you and say, look, you can't be doing this. Take this thing down or you're out of here. 20 cents a mile since I started 38 cents. That's awesome and kind of crazy. Yeah, it's gone up quite a bit, right? When you start at 38 cents, now you're up 20 cents. Robbie, I love the race. My next load is going from North Brunswick, New Jersey to Odessa, Texas. Good. Anything to get you out of Jersey is worth it. And that's some extra money. It's considerable money. Thousands of dollars a year. UP Trucker Bob, can you own a truck and still be an end user? Thank you very much for that. And you're your own end user. When you own it, you write your own check. You could decide how many days you're off, right? Exactly. Let's see, where did I go? I lost my spot. Okay, anyone going east or west on 40, stop at the famous Adrian, Texas Cafe and get a great burger, bowl of chili, iced tea, and some Burma shave supplies. Do they still have the signs for that? Only started 4 years ago. Yeah, and you're up 20 cents. You hit it kind of at the right time. I kind of wish that this pay would have been going on when I was on the road. Boy, it would have been nice to make $2,000 a week, How did Gracie do with all the fireworks? George Alexander, she didn't like it. Okay, she hung around me all night, which is unusual for her. She's usually off on her own, so she didn't like it at all. But we got through it. When you get to buy the roller wieners for everyone, you got to buy. First one in buys. John eats shreds too. That's perfect. The two of you can have dinner together. She doesn't mind sharing. If a company says we treat our drivers like family, they hate their own family. Yeah, they say that at that restaurant too, right? Olive Garden or whatever. When you hear you're like family, well, I don't pay when I go see my family, so I just get up and leave. Joan, even though you're not driving the truck but have a CDL, you're not a truck driver. Oh, no, absolutely not. When you have a CDL, you're a driver, right? Just like everybody else. Mark, did you make a decision on the podcast? Yeah, absolutely. So restart it. First one already recorded, 30 minutes. I think it'll be 30 minutes or so. But it didn't post, okay? And I know how to post a podcast because I've done those and there's actually probably 200, 170 up or so. So it didn't go anywhere. It got restarted but didn't go anywhere. So I have to call them. I'm going to call them during business hours and see where it went. See where it went off to. It'll be up this week. I'll have that figured out and up this week somewhere. So absolutely. Dreams really do come true. They could happen to you. When I started with shoutouts, 28 cents. How long ago was that, though, Kelly? We don't know when that was. Cash King, I don't even think Jesus could turn a profit over there at that John Schuster Trucking lease purchase. I don't know how you make any money to $5 or $10 a mile, right? I mean, can you imagine that? You're certainly not making what a company driver makes, especially now of all times. You're not even close to doing what a company driver makes. If you're going to own a truck, at least make some money at it. Like Cash is King Trucking, at least make some money like that. When you're making $1.15, there's no way you're making more than some company drivers blowing in the high 50s or 60 cents with benefits. No way. You need to make way more than that. Everyone is an end user to somebody. Well, maybe. Steel Horse Hungry, you should have got that roller winning machine. Holy mackerel. I assume all the places will be busy again tonight, so... Now I'm a manager making medium money, not the big bucks like the drivers. Yeah, that's got to be disappointing. Will you be getting one of these Weiner Steel Horse soon? Or possibly will you get more than 76 of them to use in the next 10 minutes? I was sitting at my delivery waiting to be unloaded, only to be told to move to another door 6 hours later because they couldn't open the door. Oh, after 6 hours. Hey, we can't open this door. Do you mind moving down there? I guess you got to creep down there, too. Otherwise, you're going to set off your log. Oh. Start treating my family like the Olive Garden. After they eat a large bowl of pasta, I hit them up for $25 plus tip. But you have to keep bringing them breadsticks. That's the problem. If you can't leave a tip, leave a thumbs up. I'll take that. I appreciate it. Start was 2004. All right, so you're up pretty good in those 17 intervening years. Imagining Mark and Gracie huddled in the bathtub sharing friskies until the fireworks subsided. She was right with me the night. She wasn't too impressed with all the fireworks going off. That'd be something. That machine GP Transco was supposed to send to the Weiner. What did it look like, Joan? It looked just like a Weiner machine at the truck stop. Actually, it had the silver rollers, and it actually looked like, a 3/4 size machine that you'd see at the truck stop or a gas station. It looked just like that. I think you could put a dozen Wieners on it. I will say that. I pay us up to 45 cents. That's a little low anymore. I think we can do better than that if you want. Now, if you like the job, it's certainly worth staying. But if you want to move, you can get in the 50s now. 2 weeks ago, I grossed $25.49. Oh, but only got 59 cents a mile, but we get the miles. Apparently so. That's a lot of miles for $2,549 or miles. I was grossed over 2,000. That's crazy. It's crazy to think drivers are in the top, 15% or whatever of wage earners in the United States, 15, 20%. Aren't most end users found at the manhole? Yeah, as long as you come in the back door. Does Driver Application Week vary by company, or is it like a national thing? Driver Appreciation Week. I don't think Melton celebrates Top Driver Appreciation Week because they appreciate you year-round. Well, there is an official Driver Appreciation Week, of which I don't know what week that is. And some companies celebrate it, some don't. They'll have a cookout here some years, but it's like during the day, like 11 to 2 p.m. or whatever. And they all drivers, you can come in to our cookout. Well, I'm not driving over there to get a hot dog from some manager during the day. I'm like, you should have a cookout for all the drivers, not just people that are only here when you're here. How about that? And they're like, yeah, Mark, we don't care what you think. So that's how they do it here. And that's all they really do for you. I think I got a flashlight one year, a tiny flashlight. That was years ago. They just don't do it. And last year they didn't do it because they said, oh, we can't because of COVID, so we can't feed people. I'm like, you can flip a hot dog over to me or whatever. Gear Jammer, greetings from Marion, Virginia. Nice. When I worked for Welfare Express, I was making 22 cents. In 14. Now, granted, I was single and no bills. That's still no money. 22 cents? Do you know I never made 22 cents a mile? I remember 23 cents in the late 80s. And then it quickly went to a quarter. To make 22 cents now is terrible, which I'm sure you agree. And you're making way more money now. It's not even worth it there at 22 cents to get experience. You should go somewhere else. Steel Horse, are you kidding me? 45 cents. Get with the times. No doubt. 45 cents is low now. Can you imagine 22 cents a mile today? 3,000 miles is only $660. $14.97 for T-bones. Oh, fancy stuff. I'm going to make double what I did at JCT. Yeah, see, get in, but double your pay. Keltarusu Travels almost missed Roller Arena Monday. Why is that? May the good Lord forgive me. What is going on with that? Traffic is terrible northbound 75 in Somerset. I'm sure. Traffic's going to be bad all day today, even though gas is up over $1 a gallon in the since last year at this time. Cash King Trucking. I just told a Western Express driver that drivers are in the top 15% of wages in the country, and he spit his coffee all over his windshield. He's like, what? They don't. Maybe if there are 4 of them put together. I can't believe 22 cents is still a thing. This year, Driver Appreciation Week is September 12th to 18th. Okay, there you go. After Labor Day, September 12th to 18th, Driver Appreciation Week. Depending on your company, they may or may do anything or nothing. Kevin, I started with Swift in 07 at 36 cents, then teamed with my brother for years at a few other companies, and now I'm home daily at 30 an hour. It's definitely gotten better. Isn't that pretty good? 30 an hour is probably pretty sweet. Home every day. Nice. I appreciate every day. I started at 18 cents a mile at Burlington in 1989. Wow. 18 cents. Holy mackerel. At Burlington. I'm sure you're doing better than that now. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine now at Western, 22 cents now? Yeah. When I started at CRST, Joan, in 05, it was 33 cents split, which was 16 cents a person. Wow. At least you could put down hopefully 7,000 miles and make some kind of money. That's still only $1,000 though. Well, I guess that wouldn't have been bad back then. In 1986, I was working for JB Hunt out of Southgate, California. I was making 18 cents a mile. Really? Everyone else was paying 16. While JB Hunt was on top of it. They're like 18 cents. Nice. A lot of people started driving before me, apparently. Good morning to you, Chef Patterson, no doubt. At JSL Wig, you get paid twice a week. Really? Because based on when you turn the loads in, Tuesday, Friday or something? I don't know. That would seem like you're getting less money. It seems like you get less money. Except everybody gets the same amount of money. Captain Flatbed, howdy everybody. Hope all are well and blessed. Absolutely. John likes daily pay. Really? Every day you get a little bit, you get money like dribbles in a little bit. I uploaded a short fireworks video on my other account. Saving the rest for New Year's. All right, Kelly, that's great. I'm like sure there's no music in the background. Cash is King Trucking. I started with USA Truck in 06 at 27 cents a mile. And my pay has went up every year since then that you've been trucking. Yeah, that's the way to do it, right? Pay goes up every year. So 27 cents, but, you're looking at 15 years ago. Imagine making less than that 27 cents a mile now. Steel Horse, I like hourly pay, paid for everything you do. That's the best way, I think. Hourly plus overtime, then there's no question that everybody gets paid. That's what this guy in Colorado was actually talking about in an article. Apparently they said gas, they can't get people to deliver gas, and so prices have skyrocketed. I thought, oh, well, I'm going to check that out. So gas in Colorado, Denver area, $3.19. Gas hasn't skyrocketed. They talked to a company that's spending $10,000 a month on advertising to get drivers. And he's like, well, you know what? What we're doing now to get people, we pay them hourly and pay them for all their time. I'm like, what a concept that is. And he said, that's working. I'm like, imagine that. Paying people for all their time and then you can get people to come in. Wow. This guy was like, he was like amazed. Working on household things with the hubby, a.k.a. Sugar Britches. Sugar Britches. Nice. It's confusing to get paid twice a week. I know. I'll be like, why am I getting paid on Tuesday? Big Country, work for a small company hauling big lots freight from Columbus, Ohio. That sounds like it's a lot of work. 60 cents, no benefits, though. Yeah, forget that. Make it home a couple nights a week and home on the weekends. 60 cents and no benefits, they should pay you more then. Because you can get, as we see, close to that with benefits. So without benefits, they're saving all that money on benefits. I don't think it's as great as it would be. Don't you have to unload the truck there or not? George Costanza called U.S. Express about the Dollar General account. Nice. In Zanesville, in Marion, Michigan. They said they pay 46 cents. I would lose 13 cents a mile. Why do they pay 46? Do you get it on stops or something? I mean, I've seen these hybrid kind of things, which they call them, where you're getting less a mile, but you make it all up on stops. I mean, do they pay 150 a stop or something? And I've actually seen that kind of thing, where the stops pay way more money. So it might be worth it. What's the full pay at the end of the week? Also, all work, a W-2 work, no 1099. Big Country, absolutely. at least be an employee there. But there's no benefits. You're not getting the literal benefit of having benefits. So they're saving a lot of money. Benefits are expensive. But look, if you like the job, I guess, keep it. It's not worth changing the job you already like, unless it is so egregious in pay. I started in 97 for 40 cents a mile. Nice. Ran 2 logs and did decent, but hard running. Right? Or a couple of logs. And now you're doing much better. Big Huge Mike started 26-cent split when I started driving. Only been up from there. But we'll never suggest anyone work for that. But then, look, years ago, that would have been the pay. Right now, of course not. When we're all like seeing Western at 22 cents and like, oh my gosh. But, back then, it might have been a different story. They're less than 27 cents today at Stevens. That's not great. That's not great. Rumor has it you have the best fireworks, Kelly. Right. Always the best going on there. I remember when I first started in trucking, I was making 18 cents a mile and worked my way to 28 cents a mile. I do miss the paper logs, but the technology as Google Maps and GPS are great. Dennis. Well, paper logs just encouraged us to run illegal, which is discouraged companies from giving you a raise. So I don't need a sugar britches. I need a sugar daddy, Joan Harper. You're just looking for the other side of it. Hey, they're out there. In 15, I started at 25 cents and quit after 6 months. Really? What do you do now? Sugar britches, are we talking about my 1990s boy band again? Cash is King. I did see those old original YouTube videos from there. Pretty good. Pretty good. They pay $100 to unload the trailer and 20 stops. So, all right. They expect you to do 6 trailers a week. There's an extra $600. At least 5. Absolutely ridiculous. I still got my leather seat at Melton. Well, I agree, but I mean, so 46 cents. So you get $120 a stop, basically, plus 46 cents a mile. So I don't know. Depends how many miles you got a week on whether that job pays okay or not. Because you're getting that money. It is hard work, but you kind of work hard at Melton too. You don't certainly just sit there like a van driver. Honestly, at 27 cents a mile in 2006, I thought I was underpaid and almost made me leave the industry. You probably were a little underpaid, but at least you stayed, right? And the pay goes up pretty quickly, even at Western. All you got to do is stay there a year. George, if you're near Zanesville, Ohio, check out the Dot Transportation. They have a lot there at Drive for Dot. Drive for Dot. Where'd they go off to? Oh, they're right there. They always need people to come and work, too. And everybody's got to eat. Back on. Okay, there we go. Awesome. They know who they have there, and that is the problem, right? That people can't, they can't go anywhere else. That's who Western tries to recruit. They don't have any other choice. So, I'm looking for percentage pay. I was never a fan of percentage pay. Do they deliver roller wieners? Sweet. The CB and food and drink and music were considered distractions from the road. I hated the driver-facing cameras and cameras placed at the job sites. There are cameras at job sites, too? Yikes. Yeah. I got my Amish ears on. Sweet. I saw the Western Express band new Volvo last week. UP Trucker Bob. Nice. Western Express. Where'd that go after? Okay. The 22 cents, that's not happening. Right. Cash is King Trucking. I appreciate that. Right. I did get back to that. And these click things, boy. In 1988, an old farmer in Batavia, Illinois, offered me a lumber hauling job based on percentage. I said I wanted hourly, went ballistic. I barely got out with my life. Well, why wouldn't he figure out what you would get hourly and just pay you hourly? It seems like that'd be a great deal. You know, that'd be better for both of you. You feel like you're getting paid all of it, and they feel like they're paying you. See, companies don't want to do that because they're afraid they won't have work for you and have to pay you. But the other side of it is there's no work and you don't get paid while you're at work. I think the whole time you're at work, you ought to consider those work hours and really figure out, you know, how much you're going to get paid for that time. And is it worth working for, you know, relatively low hourly pay? So Pilot Flying J also is giving 10% off to veterans. So if you go in there with, you're a veteran, or it's at active duty, although how many active duty people are there that are going to go there? Go in there and give them proof you're a veteran. They'll add it to your card, and you can get 10% off at Pilot Flying J's for the rest of the year, from what I understand. Al John's Repair People, $200 a trailer. Listen, you people. It's hard work, but we work 4 days a week, 8 to 10 hours a day, and they have insurance. Our helpers get paid $12 an hour. That's pretty good. I'd take a 4-day, 8-hour. That's 32 hours. Wow, that's less than I even work. I'm in. Engine Brake. Hello from Olive Branch, Mississippi. All right. Olive Branch, Mississippi, where all the companies go because of the taxes. You go down that street right there out of Memphis to Olive Branch, there's what, every company is there. I assume it's because taxes. As soon as the Mississippi line, boom, there's every company. It's either taxes or something with unions. What state is the worst roads to drive on? I don't know. Come on, Mark, you know the boss man always thinks we aren't working, so they never want to pay hourly. Right. They always, that's companies, well, if we pay hourly, you'll just take advantage of it. Well, so this way, the company takes advantage of it. How's that better? They can monitor now, especially that might have worked years ago, but they can't say that now. They can monitor exactly where the truck is, how long it sits there, what speed it's going, all that stuff. So they can't say, well, you're not going to work. They can monitor. Why are you going 44 miles an hour right here? That kind of thing. Why did the truck sit in a Burger King parking lot for 3 hours? No way. That's not a good argument anymore. Worst roads are California and New Mexico. California should be great roads from everybody going 55 because everyone only goes slow there. Larger carriers love mileage pay because it does not affect them when the driver is sitting with no load. UP Trucker Bob. Absolutely. Right. Carriers can have you sit all weekend and you don't get paid anything. That's the thing of it. And some of them will give you $50 after 24 hours or whatever. That kind of thing. That's what needs to change. How many people sat over this weekend with a load that they picked up Friday that's going to deliver Tuesday, and it went 400 or 500 miles? They're not going to get paid anything. How many don't like hourly pay because of lazy people, Trucker Hershey, but they can monitor that now. The truck can be 100% monitored now, so it isn't any issue. I-5 in Southern California and the 210 are terrible. Oneida County in New York City, New York State. Did you hear that Amazon employee voted no to unionize? I heard there was an Amazon place that did vote no to unionize. So that always surprises me. People complain a lot about Amazon and then won't do anything about it. So, okay, they have certainly the right to unionize. If they don't want to, then they just take whatever they get there. Your only thing you can do is to withhold your labor from a company. And if one person does it, they fire you. But if everybody does it, they talk to you. Olive Branch is the Hernando of South Haven. Exactly. Worst roads are Louisiana. I like the scale so you get to drive past them with that thing out on the road. A Big Huge Mike, they definitely should do something about the pay, but they are just going to go autonomous. That's a long way, though, before they figure that out. Here we had another Tesla crashed into a ditch because it couldn't take a corner. So, and they're probably the most advanced of anybody on it. There are ways from doing that yet. Yeah, sure, they all go to speed limit, Jay-Z. Absolutely. Everybody's going 55 and has their tandems at 40 feet. That's the whole state. And all the trucks are clean. 34 reset on the road, that's $210. At a good place, right. At a good place, it might be $210. As you know, right, which is unfortunate. A lot of places, It's $0. Resets are nothing. Sitting, that's the worst part. You pick up a load, or they picked up a load Thursday that delivers Tuesday. It's 550 miles. So you show up Friday night and sit all weekend, and they won't pay you because you're on a load. They go, well, you're not laid over, you have a load. And so drivers are sitting the whole weekend, and that's disappointing. But the only way to stop that is to just not do it. A Bill 777 hit the like button. I appreciate that. To be fair, Amazon is pretty Orwellian when it comes to stamping out union strikes. Orwellian. Yeah, well, people can vote, though. They can also vote with their feet and not work there. I hear a lot of videos of people complaining about it, but they still go in there every day. Don't do something you don't want to do, and don't do a job you don't like doing. I went by California Highway Patrol at 65 in my truck, and he didn't even blink. Wait, because you're going slow. There's trucks going 80 out there that he can go ticket. He said, I'm not going to have a driver take all day to get to Chicago and get offloaded and get back for another load out. George Wilson. But now, though, they can monitor that, right? Now they can see, why are you going so slow? They can see all that. There's no excuse for it. And I'd say, well, I'm not going to have a company hose me on the money because they think I'm going to, why is everybody so worried about everybody else? Join the Rush Limbaugh Nation, John. I don't know if there is a Rush Limbaugh Nation anymore. I don't even know who's doing the show anymore. You people might know that, though. There are very few jobs that don't pay hourly. There's lots of jobs that don't pay hourly. I just can't believe truckers allow it. 55 on I-55, 30 an hour, safety first. Absolutely. Certainly. Always run the speed limit. And I never tell people to run under the speed limit. If your truck will go 65 and the speed limit's 65 and you're paid hourly, you should be on 65 if it's safe to do so. Otherwise, it's kind of stealing from the company. I agree. But on the other side of it, if it's a 55, well, you go 55. But I see that in Indy all the time. That's the biggest place. So on 465, the speed limit's 55 miles an hour. And I get passed by tons of people that I assume are getting paid hourly. UPS, Yellow, Holland. I think Holland almost for sure does, right? Dayton Freight. I see them advertising hourly jobs. Why are they going 65? Dayton's going 68 miles an hour in a 55 and getting paid by the hour. It doesn't make any sense. I remember when 40 cents a mile was great pays. Nowadays, it's surprising me that there's still companies that offer it. Dennis, right. When they hit 40, I'm like, wow, 40 cents? People are getting 40 cents out here? Oh, my gosh. Now you're like 40 cents? What is this, Western Express? True, but it's hard to have a fair discussion about a bill when your company is inherently biased. That's true. And maybe it's time, maybe that place, we don't work there. We're like, no. I'm trying to build a company where everyone is only paid percentage of the load, where drivers can choose how much they want and be responsible for it. That's interesting. What do they get paid if there's no load? Just me, or did we lose audio? No, we're good. I'm watching the line go back and forth there. I just cooked 3 farm fresh eggs from my own chicken coop. They were awesome. Really, you have a chicken coop there? When you hear what Elon Musk thinks how the truck should work, you understand he has no clue what a driver puts up with from four-wheelers. Of course not. They never ask drivers about any of that. Hope you had a good John Rose, Kelt Rooster Travels. Yeah, at the Hool, right. According to Google, Danny, Rush Limbaugh's radio show to be taken over by Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. All right, I've heard Buck Sexton. I don't know who Clay Travis is. Buck runs a show that's syndicated, and it's on here on 104.3, the big 104.3 FM here in Lafayette. So I've heard that show. That'll be interesting to hear that. Don't Amazon drivers have like 3 drops an 8th day, and they have to finish it before they come back? I'm not sure. Amazon doesn't have any drivers. Amazon uses outside services, contract providers, who then hire drivers. So that's what Amazon would like you to know about it. And they probably do work like UPS, only harder for less money. So absolutely. Where would I apply to deliver at McDonald's? Uber Eats. How about that, Joan? Uber Eats, if you want to deliver McDonald's. Yeah, and they actually do that here. Or any one of those delivery services. Yep. Those are the delivery drivers. Ken P. Yeah, well, I was thinking the Amazon warehouse workers. They're the ones that wanted to unionize. And they said no to one of these places and said, no, we're not going to unionize. So they're paying $18. I've seen on billboards here, $18 at the Amazon warehouse in Lebanon, which is the closest one to me. I go by the billboards every day. I don't think $18 an hour is terrible to start out at a place where you don't need any experience and can just basically walk in and go to work. But if you think it's not good money, don't accept the money. right? Probably a place like Grubhub. Yeah, I never did Grubhub. I've not done Eats either, but yeah, Uber Eats and all those places, you could deliver the McDonald's if you wanted to. I used to haul fuel. There are better jobs in the trucking industry than that. You boil in the summer, you reek of fuel. You have to dig for the fills in the winter, and you have to deal with the public. That's pretty awesome. Why would the public? Oh, what are they griping at you for blocking the fuel pumps or whatever? You're the one bringing the gas. For them. They were just saying this guy in Colorado was saying he can't get people to deliver fuel. And so he had to spend all this money. Do you ever watch a video called Watch My Truck? No, what does it do? In a semi. Oh, McDonald's, what is that? Now I always think Reckitt Benckiser. Martin Brower, Reckitt Benckiser's mustard. Martin Brower is the semi for McDonald's. So I'll look them up. Yep. Cisco's a good food delivery job. It's just a lot of work. I mean, they're advertising Cisco at $26.50. I've seen that in Indy, 2-star, home daily. But you unload the trailer all day. It's a lot of work. Just trying to bring back the quarter drivers, and support staff only get support percentages. Oh, I'm sure they'll love that. I believe it is Golden State Foods. Martin Brower, at least up here, delivers McDonald's to the McDonald's stores. And so you roll the stuff down. It's kind of like Cisco, but for McDonald's exclusively. And you roll stuff in there, and I assume once you do the same places all the time, they'll get to know you, and you'll be able to get a free meal or something like that. That's what I think will happen. That's how it always is at most places where you go all the time. Everybody gets to know you, and eventually they feed you and everything. FMCSA and the drive cam and all this stuff. So now they want an exemption. Daimler is the one asking for this exemption. Here's where they want to be able to place anything in the windshield up to 8.5 inches below the top swept area of the windshield wipers, and 7 inches above the bottom area of the swept area of where the wipers go. What do you think about that? Would that block your view of anything? McDonald's contracts private companies to haul for their McDoubles and McChicken. It's regional. The companies vary. All right, well, around here at least. Let's put it that way. Martin Brower around here. Yeah, there's probably others. Because you follow that thing with the gigantic sandwich on it, the trailer. It does say that it can't block your vision, but anything in that area is going to block your vision. And some of these things are getting huge. And I saw a truck the other day, which I was driving, or I would have taken a picture of it, and their Lytix or whatever Samsara camera is it's on their side. It's in front of them. Brilliant. Talk about being watched. Normally when I see these, it's on the other side. And I saw it, I'm like, that guy's got a camera right in front of him. How does that work? Trucking Journeys bought a new truck. A new pickup truck, or like the Ram from yesterday, or a new... did you go out and buy a semi and join the ranks of the owner-operators at John Christner Trucking? And I don't think getting a truck at John Christner is actually buying a truck. So, Trucking Journeys, if you're at John Christner, I don't know if that's actually purchasing a truck or not. So, right in the eyesight of pedestrians at stoplights. Basically. Now, the FMCSA does say that it can't be in the driver's view, but that varies based on the driver and how they are. Like some drivers, if they got the seat on the floor, you can almost put the camera anywhere. But some drivers that want to ride higher up there, I don't know. 8.5 inches below the top swept area of the wipers and 7 inches above the bottom area. That's the whole windshield. That's basically the entire windshield, or anywhere in the non-swept area, of course. So basically, it's the whole windshield. You can put all this, and it's not just cameras. It'll be for lane keeping. It'll be for, all these other detection systems and everything like that. Anything that involves that kind of stuff. Also cameras. At liquor stores, they give you a free pint at Christmas. I don't drink, so just get what the wife likes. Hey, you're a drunk. What do you want to drink? I just ask her. Okay, right. That wouldn't go good. Watch my truck follows drivers and records driving behavior for trucking companies. Oh, really? Really? They did that years ago at the first place I worked. Regal Transportation, flatbed. They had a company that would follow you around because they told me one time, they go, hey, you were followed in whatever state. I was home every weekend. So they'd come in and they go, you were followed in North Carolina or whatever from this mile marker to this mile. They had like a write-up. The load was tarped because all the loads had to be tarped 100% of the time. You didn't have a passenger with you. It wasn't allowed. You had your seatbelt on, all that. And then, so it was fine, but they're like, so this place would just randomly follow trucks around. Something. Osvaldo Gervasio. Hello, Mark. Hello, what's going on? I wouldn't drive anything with that crap on it. Well, that crap is coming from the factory, unfortunately. Why do we exempt companies from the FMCSA rule? Exactly. Daimler wants to be exempted, and so they shouldn't be. You shouldn't be able to stick stuff all over the windshield so people can't see what they're doing. I don't even like Subaru's eyesight thing, which is way up here. It's in the way. I mean, come on. This stuff in the trunk, 8.5 inches from below the top and 7 inches above the bottom. That's the entire windshield. Enjoy your new truck, TJ, at John Christner Trucking. They put them right in front of you to track eye movements. Well, okay, I mean, come on. Then don't hire drivers. It's in the way. It looked like it was right in front of their head. Oh, you bought an F-150. Oh, I thought you were John Christner. Brand new 2020 Lariat. How'd you find that? With the 5-liter, nice Mustang engine. They found a 2020 because the 2021 had that cylinder deactivation thing that causes oil consumption. I have that on the Escape. You can turn it off. You just press a button and turn it off, by the way, or put it in sport mode, which is how I drive around town, and it doesn't work. So I agree, though. Otherwise, if you don't want it, you can just get this one. That's pretty awesome. How'd you find a leftover 2020? I'll tell you that. Nice. Enjoy it. Stop making fun of me, Mark. The seat's on the floor with me because if it's not herky-jerky. Do you also have that large stick shifter that's way up here then where you're way down on the floor? I see people where you only see like their eyes above the side of the door. I'm like, how do people see what they're doing? Tector and Blue Parrot Charger. Well, the way I see it, you have the camera, the GPS, lane assist, and 19-inch color TV, keep the driver entertained. It can't be. Some people do this with their GPS and dash cam too. It's way up high, like in the center of the windshield. Keep the stuff out of your vision, low. I have my dash cam way low in the dashboard. I barely can see it when I'm driving. Cameras are only used to put the blame on the driver if there's ever an accident. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the first video of them where it shows that the accident was ruled not the driver's fault because of the interior view of the camera, where it could not have been any other way determined other than that interior view. The camera companies always say, well, it proves you weren't texting. Well, so does the phone record. They can pull a phone record same way and it proves whether the phone's being used. So they can't, that's not good. Maybe the exemptions are only for driverless trucks. Oh, no. The exemption is for everybody. They'll be able to put it in those spots anywhere on the windshield. Awesome. UP Trucker Bob, I used to deliver mail, and the supervisors at the Postal Service would follow you periodically to make sure you're not violating any safety regulations. Sweet. Were you? Good. The thing is, I didn't know it at Regal till I got that. They didn't tell me about that. But we're looking at 1988, and I don't know how they found you then. The truck wasn't tracked or anything. We didn't have a cell phone. They just had to be out somewhere and see one of the trucks. And Regal only had, 50 trucks. We went basically this side of the Mississippi. That would be some kind of job to try and go locate a truck. I guess they know where your stops are, so it could have been around then. I don't remember if that's what the deal was. Oh, Spaldo, I went to a family-owned company and I got paid by the hour. Nice. And I notified that they don't pay the pre-trip, post-trip, so I went to talk to my boss about it. What'd he say? If you're getting paid by the hour, everything's paid. That's work. You don't do the big shifter that's way up at the top of your peat, where you got to flip the button way up there. I've seen people do that. I was on workman's comp and they followed me. Well, that's just make sure you're not out, golfing and stuff like that. I don't know why people get busted on that. You were workman's comp, sit at home. 5-star Ford of Dallas had one they use as a courtesy vehicle with 500 miles on it. That's how I got the Escape. But when you buy a vehicle that they use like that, your warranty doesn't start until the day they sell it. Right, you get a new warranty, that's correct. And what they do here, they give you $1 off a mile, which I like. That's on it. And they give you a 1-year, 12-month, 12,000 extended Ford service warranty, the premier warranty on it, for buying one of their vehicles. This one had $24.99 on it when I got it. So absolutely, that's the way to do it. That's how you got that one. Awesome. What color is it? Back in the 80s, JB Hunt hired Dave Markle Safety Services to tattle on us. Dave Markle Safety Services. They did the same thing your first company did. They would write reports on us and send to them. Right, that's what happened. Because there was no way to track the truck otherwise. JB Hunt, was more drivers. So we'd get, hey, Mark, you were followed from these 2 mile marks. I wasn't doing anything wrong, but I guess they did that to all of them. The other thing at Regal, every load had to be tarped 100%, no matter what. So they would bust a lot of people on the tarping, I guess. Because no matter what the load was, no matter where you picked it up, it had to be tarped. Trucking Juice, I got the full standard warranty, plus I got an extra year bumper to bumper for free. That's exactly correct. Okay, so almost the same deal like I got. And a free spray and bed liner and full window tint. That's awesome. That's awesome. I did tint it myself, which I'm meaning I had somebody do it. And, of course, I don't need a bed liner. So you got a good deal on it. That's awesome. $53.93.79. It was worth $60. It's like an exact amount. We're going right to the penny on that. That's great. Columbia, Georgia, I'm late today. Day off, paid holiday. Well, that's the way to do it, right? Take the day off and get paid. And even if you're working, you should still get an extra day's pay for today. If I was followed by a U.S. mail employee, I would duck for cover. Someone's going postal. Yeah. Of course, how did that little mail truck follow you around? I didn't know they went that fast. Is being an owner-operator hauling for Amazon generally a profitable venture, or is that an avenue to avoid? Dennis, has anyone here ever hauled an Amazon trailer or know what did they pay? I know there's a few owner-operators on right now. What do those Amazon loads pay? Do they pay anything? I know I don't ever see the owner-operators on here hauling them in their videos, so... I like the bib shifters. You like that big shifter up there? Some state troopers and deputies did it as a side job. But they'd still have to find you. In the 80s, they didn't track the trucks. They hadn't invented GPS yet. Al Gore was still working on the internet. I hate the way those tall shifters look. I'm only 4'11" tall. Yeah, you'd never be able to reach the top of it. Plus, look, in traffic, that's got to be a pain in the butt. The shifter thing is way up here. Now, you could move the lever around, but you can't go to high and low because I've seen that thing way up there too. And what I assume these drivers do in these new trucks is the automatic thing is way up here. DRN is also way up here. The way would autonomous trucks have a metal sheet over there where the windshield would be to save money on cracked windshields? And, you know, it's interesting if they would cover the windshield. It wouldn't need a windshield if it didn't have a driver, right? So it theoretically doesn't need a windshield. It's like 2 Billy Big Rigger shifters. You know, you've seen some of them that are way up there. And look, if you love it and you have it in your truck, okay, I'm not hating on that. I just don't think it would be for me. I cannot imagine shifting through town with a shifter like that. Looks aren't everything. And it doesn't pay anything extra to do that to your truck. Kenworth T800 has the worst view out of the right side because of the high dashboard and air cleaner. Well, because the outside air cleaner, they still have those? 9 Smurfs. Complaints that Amazon doesn't pay very good. Plus, you sign on for a week and they can make you drive any time of day or night. Really? For the semi-drivers, you can only drive when you are available to. And if you're an owner-operator, no, you should be able to drive anytime you want, right? To be independent, you have to be independent. And just that of the owner-operators that I watch on YouTube, I don't really see any of them hauling Amazon trailers, even though there's so many. So to me, it seems to me then that they don't pay as much, but I don't know. Yeah, the high automatic shifter. They're getting new trucks. These guys eventually got to get new Cascadias ordered, but they put the D thing way up here. So they flick it into D way up there. And then they manually shift it up and down way up there. The booster seat to reach the shifter. Yeah, they got to lift the air up in their seat to get up there to change gears. Is it true that Amazon owner-operators are required to drive Volvos? They're required to drive old Volvos with one headlight. And they're all required to install off-road, non-DOT LED light bars on their Volvos. You have a high shifter for medical reasons. What is that? That your arm needs to be stretched? Why? What medical reason could that possibly be? Trucking Journey is a gate black. Oh, so you have the new black. Okay. With the chrome appearance package. Limo tint on the back windows. Nice. And windshield. 30% on the front 2 windows. Even through a navigation for free on the sun system. How would you have limo tint on the front windshield? I mean, how... I looked at... When I got this thing tinted... They had several cars there that have been tinted. I looked through a couple of them with windshield tint. I'm like, no, I just got a limo eyebrow down to the AS1 line. So it's got, a foot strip or whatever on the top. But I thought, no way. And then the side windows are 30% to match the backs. Heard Amazon Pay is 20% of the average of others. It seems like the people that work there can't afford to fix their trucks. 4'11", what do you do? Stand up to drive. Slide the seat back to a standard two-wheel. Yeah, you're going to have to slide that seat all the way up. We do have one lady that's pretty short, and she still drives, so no problem. Just get in there and drive. And I remember as a little kid, when I took the bus to school, the school bus driver had blocks on the pedals. I remember that. So I don't know how tall she ever was. I never saw her stand up, but I remember seeing the block. She had a block on the brake pedal, a block on the clutch, and a block on the gas pedal of the school bus. This would have been 70s, mid-70s. Amazon must not pay these owner-operators very much. Have you seen the pieces of crap they're driving? They only have money for LED lights. Anybody ever drive an old Spicer 7-speed? They used to be standard on the JB Hunt Schneider cab over. Sweet. Is probably better than the 5-speed Mac I had for a while. If you get a Volvo, they have a stock sunroof, so you can have like 8 feet of shifter. Stick it right out the top. They don't open though, right? Is it open? I see these guys with these big hood trucks right down on the floor of their trucks must have air leaks in the seat because that can't be comfortable. Yeah, how do you drive the truck and your eyebrows are just above the dashboard? It's all looks, I guess. Does that make you make more money? I don't know. No GP transfer of Fleet Navs today. Joan Harper, I missed them. Yeah, they even though their drivers are driving, they're off. So not great. Super Ego Holding, what do you think? Yeah, maybe a little bit. Long antenna, long shifter, no air in the seat, and a backache. Also no profit because the profits went through the stacks. Oh, you got to have those big antennas that point forward, too. I love when people point their unidirectional, their omnidirectional antennas that they have, and then they point it forward. We don't see that as much anymore as you used to. Some of them even light up when you talk through them. So that was always great. When they pointed their antennas, nice. A shady truck school called me, really, Keltrusha Travel, said she wanted me to do a favor in helping me get my CDL. Oh, hey, we'll do you a favor. And lease your truck. You'd rather eat a bullet. I'd tell them I'd rather eat 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes. The most annoying thing is when your air ride seat has a leak and it won't stay up. So you're always downshifting. I've had trucks like that, right? Every 10 minutes you're like, why am I so low? You're like going lower like this as you drive around. That's got to get fixed. A UP trucker, Bob, the drivers with extended shift levers probably also have a Harley Davidson with ape hanger handlebars. Yeah, I've seen those too. I don't know how you drive that too. I had my KZ400, which is certainly not some kind of great bike or whatever, but at least it had the handlebars in a normal place. I thought, how do you ride with the handlebars all the way up there? I do. I slide it almost all the way up. Right. Look, I'm all up on the wheel too, though, so I'm with you with that. Let's see. The trucking answers. You should tell GP Transco and Fleet Nav you had like 40 drivers wanting to sign up. GP Transco said they are starting a waiting list, so I don't know if they would care that much about it. No limo 10 on the rear windshield. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, look, Trucking Journeys, I've seen them, and they had cars there with a tinted front, with a tinted windshield, and I thought, man, that is just too dark at night. I have to open the window to turn anyways. So I cannot imagine having the windshield tinted. So I only did the eyebrow. If you didn't get an eyebrow, you should. I recommend it. It's super helpful. Go get that done. Just the brow itself is probably $40. Back when I worked for the Polish Mafia, I pulled Amazon from Phoenix to Denver. Had to make it from Phoenix to Denver nonstop, 4 a.m. to 10, 11 p.m. Can't do it now with the ELD. Korean Mafia sent prior to ELD. Yeah. So they wanted you there, and now they're like, now what are we going to do? So the limo tint is on the back two windows on the rear windshield and the sliding glass thing on the rear windshield. And I've got 30% on the front two windows, which is just dark, right? That matches it would have matched the other tint, but now it doesn't. And it's better. 30% matches the back tint. Polish Mafia hired owner-operators with crap trucks, including mine. Well, they got to have something to go on. Get an eyebrow done on that pickup truck. I delivered fuel on the night shift, so I had to deliver to fuel stations in very seedy areas. Dennis, I've seen these people doing that. Not as much fuel, but I've seen people, especially Cisco around here, delivers to places and they're closed, and it looks a little dangerous to me. Trucking journeys 30% as dark as Texas will allow, and then I have no window tint on the front windshield. Yeah, well, they don't allow the side windows to be tinted here at all. I don't care. They're tinted anyway, and get an eyebrow. Even Texas should allow you to tint to the AS1 line on your windshield. That's a strip on the top. It's actually about 8 or 9 inches. There's a mark on your windshield. Look at it. It says AS1, and there's a line on it. Usually you can tint to that line. So it's tinting to the AS1 line. You're going to love it. But yeah, the side windows aren't allowed to be tinted at all here. And that didn't stop me. As long as you're not doing anything stupid, at least here in Indiana, they don't seem to say anything about it. My cars get tinted. Western Express has high shifters on each side of the seat, so in case the cops pull them over, they already have both hands up in the air. Well, because they already know. They're just there for a probation check. Well, partly they turn straight up when you're going 70. What's the best company to lease to, Rico? I don't do leases from the company, certainly, and I don't really know that much about, owner-operator pay at companies. I'm not an owner-operator and haven't looked into it really that much. There's, you could go possibly to this channel, right? It was live constantly, probably live right now. He knows way more about that. He's an owner-operator, making great money in the industry, so that's the way to go with that. I don't do the owner-operator thing. I just wanted all the benefits of being a company driver without any of the hassles, which there are more hassles as an owner-operator. You make a lot more at a good place, but you have a lot more hassles, so it's not for me. It is for some people. Have you seen those Carolina squatted trucks that are lifted in the front but dropped in the back? Who would do that? Billy Bigrigger designed that piece. Why would you do that? To get stuff easier in the bed? Pointing the antennas forward supposedly give a bullhorn look. Oh, it didn't work. It just looks like your antennas are pointed forward. Your omnidirectional antennas are pointed forward. All the JBM trucks I drove as a little 7-speed on the doghouse. Sweet. Remember those little shifters? And they did these with 10 speeds too. I had a Freightliner with a 10 speed and a cab over, and the shifter stick was like a foot long right there next to you because you were just sitting in just a hole. And then there was this huge thing and then another hole. But your food could sit here conveniently right next to you like a little table. So, and you'd always leave your shoes down there. I never put the shoes in the back. I have a high shifter to compensate. That's why I think a lot of these people are doing it. You have a Yamaha RZ350. Wow, that's even smaller yet. It got hairy delivering to some of these fuel stations at night. Tweakers, drunks, and dealing with some ugly people. Dennis, I can imagine. And I've seen people at the car dealerships too for, who was that? I think it was Black Horse actually out of Indy. Delivering, they're at Ford, and I've seen them at the Chevy dealer in like 3 a.m. Taking in parts or whatever. Holy mackerel, that's like super scary at 2 or 3 a.m. I wouldn't do that. You don't know who's going to walk up to it, and it's just you there. It's just you. I have a short shifter in my Sprinter, like neutral drive an R for really fast. Go really fast, R. Joan Harper, what's an eyebrow? An eyebrow is a tint that goes over the top, like a unibrow, kind of your windshield. And you can look in your car. There's an AS1 on the side. Both sides it says AS1, and there's a line. You can tint to that line legally, at least here in Indiana. You can tint to the AS1 line, and that is then an eyebrow. And I get that limo tint, and that stops a lot of the sun coming in when you are driving. It's very, very helpful. Just that only is like only $40 at the tint place. It was $139, if I remember, for ceramic on the 2 front windows and the AS1 line with a lifetime guarantee for ceramic tint, where I got mine done at a little place here in town called, what the heck were they called? Oh, Ezekiel Auto Tinting, right. Go find a small place, not these big Z-Bar places. Go find a local shop that's run by local people and go give them your business, and they'll do a great job, I hope. One good part of hauling fuel was the 410's work schedule. That would be great. 4 10-hour days. And you don't want to do too many hours, more than 10 hours. That's what these companies are having a problem with, getting people. I want to know what is a podcast. I don't think anybody owns an iPod anymore. Aviator Trucker. Yeah, people still listen to podcasts. You can download a podcast player on your device and listen to podcasts. You can also download them on your Zune player. So they gave us keys to some place when I delivered office products. Look, I did that. When I delivered cookies and stuff like that, I would deliver cookies, everything basically but bread products to bread stores. Those little bread stores like between here and Virginia Beach. I'd have the same route every week, 20 to 22 stops a week. Would go out with a 53-foot trailer, and I had a big roll of keys. And you'd go in these places at night. You couldn't get in them during the day. The parking lots weren't big enough, so you had to work at night. And it got a little bit scary. And some guys went to Chicago, and I'm like, forget that. Working today, I'm getting 8 hours holiday pay on top of my regular mileage. Creature, that's exactly right. That's the way to do it. Extra pay. It's a holiday. You should get paid extra. If you put an eyebrow on your windshield, then you need to install eyelashes over your headlights. Some people do that on their Volkswagens. Those people are called women. That's who I see doing that. So, tinting full front windshield is illegal. Trucking journey. So are a lot of things. But we do that here in Indiana. If you want the whole thing tinted, these smaller places will do it for you, no problem. They would have tinted it limo all the way around if I wanted to, but I didn't want it. The side windows here are illegal. The front door windows are illegal in Indiana. You can't tint them. So if I see a primered IROC, I'm following to the nearest trailer park. Yeah, tint that too. People email me and ask me, what's the best lease purchase? Say I don't recommend any lease purchase, then they try to justify their lease purchase. Yeah, but it's $1.15 plus fuel. Plus fuel. Do they then call you stupid? I get those emails too, so I like that. I always enjoy those. Hey, well, you're stupid, they go. Well, you wrote. Forward angle antenna helps so short antenna can be mounted and tuned to your truck. Do you think so? Really? Why don't ham radio operators angle their antennas? Is there a trucking answers discount at Stuckey's? Oh, nice. There's one at Buc-ee's. Go in the Buc-ee's and tell them that. A Cash is King Trucking. When I would do key deliveries for Cisco, occasionally I would forget to turn the silent alarm off and the cops would show up. Sometimes would do this on purpose because of the neighborhood. That's not a bad idea. I only had that happen one time. You would get a sheet with you, but it wasn't always the same store. So there'd be different stores that were added in. Probably 80% of them were the same. And so I went to this new store and it says it has a spot there for alarm, whether there's a key or the code, nothing. So turn the key, open the door. Oh, all the lights come on and the super loud alarm. I shut the door, but the alarm kept going off. I thought, well, I bet the cops are on their way. So I just opened the door back up and started unloading. Yeah, a couple minutes, a bunch of cops show up. What's going on? What's happening here? So that was a lot of fun. They had to have the owner of the store come or manager, whatever, in the middle of the night. I did delivery out to the hood today. They shot 2 cops there. One fatally. That's not great. Everybody's getting shot here. People were getting shot up at a car wash I saw. What is going on? You can't even wash your car at 3 a.m. anymore? And some antennas vibrate if straight up at certain airspeeds. Darcy, well, some of them have that little curly Q thing around them, if you saw that years ago. And so that kind of stopped that stuff. Did you see the semi floating in the Columbia River? I did. Some guy went down the embankment, I guess, and drove right into the river. I don't remember how. You probably know the details more. And then there's a picture of the thing floating down the river. Apparently the trailer was empty. And I guess whoever made that trailer ought to get an award. It's sealed great. It sealed enough air in there that this semi floated down the river. I want a mirror tint. Can I have that here? Well, probably not, but do it anyways. It seems to be that in Indiana, if you're not doing anything stupid, it isn't a problem. But if you tint dark enough, people can't see in your car anyways. You know, they just can't. Your back windows can be tinted. Oh, I actually don't think on a car they can. Tint it. Just go get it tinted. Can you see at night through a tinted window? Aviator trucker. No, that's why I didn't get the windshield tinted that much. It's really dark. So, and the other escape we had, I had limo tint on the front doors too. Oh, so all the doors had it. I could not see anything out of there at night. Cash King Trucking, I'm going to need 2 com checks, one for the lumpers and one for Bubba to bump the dock. I need an extra 10 for that. Can I download the podcast on my Walkman? Oh, only the Walkman. You can only do it on a Discman, not on a Walkman itself. There's a Trucking Answers discount at Stuckey's. I'll meet you there and get both pecan logs. I'm in for that. Tinted windows is known as FU tape here. What does that mean? Is that not allowed there? If you did have a podcast, I would listen. There'll be one up hopefully by the end of this week. Okay, I have to call Blueberry, my podcast host, and find out why it didn't post. There's something I'm doing wrong, and I don't exactly know what it is. It shows posted, but it didn't go anywhere. It's all turned back on. It'll be up soon. As soon as I get that figured out, it'll be up. I'd feel much safer asking a tweaking lot lizard to hold my purse than do a lease purchase. Yeah, that probably would be safer. You'd get robbed less. Do you have the link to your car channel? Do you have the link for the podcast? I don't have a link for the podcast because it didn't go anywhere. So I don't know where it went. So I don't know what that will be. It'll be Trucking Answers Podcast, but there's nothing to it yet. And the car channel is just my name, Mark Rumps, and it's about 700 car videos. Believe me, this is not some Doug DeMuro, or this is not some, Lucasfilm production. It's just me finding a car that I like and talking about it for, 2 to 10 minutes per car. And that's how that channel goes. It's generally one a week. Usually it's the car from the beginning of the Sunday rant will be the car from the next week on that channel. It'll also get a video. And there's other cars on there too. I saw a Taurus with eyelashes. That's gross. Well, I don't know why people do those. I don't have a podcast check on my Betamax. Betamax. I never got into that, unfortunately. I did the Laserdisc for a while. But then some movies, you'd have to get 2 discs. So you have to change it out in the middle. I'm like, well, forget this. Or for race. Maybe. Some of them go faster that way. Real scary story. Delivering fuel late at night. Very dark. Only have a team street light. Over the old phone booth. That phone kept ringing. 3 minutes would stop. You should have answered it. Might have been the cops. Probably an SEL and not an SHO Taurus, at least. I have 3 on this thing below. I think it's for warp speed. Wow. 3. How old is that? Get away from the cop scare. I forget if I introduced probably be somebody saying I'm watching you. Hey, turn around, they go. And then somebody goes, the call's coming from inside the booth. Because ham doesn't have interference from other devices in the truck. Ah, that's correct. Generally right. Plot twist, Mark is a Karen who demands to see the manager about the overpriced rural wieners. Whatever the price is, I'll pay it. I go, here is a blank check. You fill the number in and give them to me. It was not a Great Dane trailer. Do they leak too much? That trailer, I was pretty impressed by that trailer floating down the river. It was holding the truck up. There's a semi connected to the front of that. And all that air trapped in there, I thought, well, this thing is sealed really good. They probably can just pull that trailer out and use it. It's all dry inside. You use the SS sideband. Yeah, not allowed. It's the curls that do it. Oh, that'd be great. JB Hunt with 7-speed cardboard interior had my freight box with my CB and FM. No air ride. That's true. A lot of them were leaf. It was pretty horrible. A man has a right to get drunk in his man panties to celebrate summer. No doubt. Tell me about it. That was all about yesterday. Then they made me go inside. The neighbors are like, can you go inside with that? Great Dane Super Seal, Cassius Skeet Trucking. Yeah, it works. That thing was floating down the river. And so it worked. Allegedly tinting the antenna improves performance. Roger Penske. Get the antenna tinted also. Limo tint on that. And plus you won't be able to see it. UP trucker Bob Carries continue to rip off drivers on a lease purchase agreement because drivers continue to allow it. Buy a decent used truck. That's true because they're selling hope. That's how you sell everything, right? You don't really sell a product. You sell a solution. You always sell somebody a solution. You're not selling them this thing. Like you don't sell them a bell. You sell them a solution of, I need to contact someone in the house immediately. Oh, well, I have this for you. Now they'll come out, right? You're not selling the bell. You're selling the solution. So to drivers, want to be owner-operators but don't have any money and have a credit score of 406. So the solution, well, we have a truck right here. You can be an owner-operator. We'll lease it to you. You're selling them a solution, and they don't think about that they're starting a business. They're not buying a truck. They're starting a business for themselves. People don't think that through, and then they get into trouble. And many of them go broke. Now, some complete their lease. Absolutely. They do. But many go broke. Many do. Has anyone seen the new 2021 Fruhoff? No. They got tilted backwards from the wind, but it's a good cable, correct length antenna, and good stuff. Probably a nicer, though. Back of the sleeper is where the antennas are going now. Are they? Are people putting them back there? I haven't seen that. They're all built in now. Just like a car. No antennas anymore. Just a little stubby antenna. Columbia George, the place I live on the shore of the Columbia River, I did not hear about a semi-truck floating. Yeah, go Google that up. I think CDL Life has pictures of it. It's floating down the river. Literally floating down the river. Cassius King Trucking is sold, he says. Media signed by Edison. Hope this works out. Tommy, it says. Crazy. Just now saw hiring RN at 91 per hour. Wow. Maybe we should have been nurses. Man, that would have been pretty decent. My stepmother was a nurse. She worked in an office, though. She worked for an OBGYN just at an office, so she just had office hours. So that would have been pretty good. If I didn't have to take care of people in it, I think I would do good at it. If I stuck on an island, which Star Trek series would you want to have with you? Cash King Trucking. Oh, stuck on an island, Do I get the whole cast with me or just the captain? Cassius King Mark, don't say this. Great Dane trailers have almost as many holes as Epstein's suicide explanation. I don't know what you mean. I mean, that's totally a true story. So I don't know why you would say that, Al John, but it's certainly not me saying it. I mean, the story is obviously true, and we saw it. If you have a shipping container full of Lay's potato chips, will it float or will it float the tractor to this thing? As far as I know, the tractor was still connected to this thing. New Columbia River trailer washout. They just drive down here to the washout. That trail's going to be dry inside. That's the thing of it. I only see reindeer, fox, and wild rabbits in Helsinki. Really? I hate styling antennas. That would be difficult. When you tilt a monopole antenna, you change the phase of the signal. All they could be received by antennas that they're at the same angle. How are you operators don't do this because they know the ROI? Operators. I ain't got no panties on, Kevin. That's what is being said right now by some driver in Ontario, California. The 2021 fruit haul, that's the fruit haul. My CB antenna is under the fiberglass on my roof. Very aerodynamic. Yeah, just nothing is out of the truck anymore because, when you put an antenna, you lose, like 0.4 of a mile per gallon, possibly. My wife is a nurse. Where's that? I'm quitting my job. That's pretty good, right? Doesn't matter what kind of nurse you were or just RN and you're set. I remember when JB got flat floor cab over, you thought you were in a big dog. Oh, I know. The way they were renting this truck, this was Ream Water Heaters where I had this cab over. They were renting it from Rollins. Everybody remember Rollins truck rental? So we'd pick the truck up at Rollins, and they switched them out to flat floors. And they're like, you guys are getting flat floors. I'm like, holy mackerel, this is the most amazing thing ever. They had the Ream Water Heater logo on them and everything. But because they had, 10 or 12 trucks, was amazing. A 76-year-old lady, 2AS driving the river road truck. I have my ham antenna bolted to my steel roof. I get mad distance on low watts. Absolutely. Right? In the car, it sits right in the middle of the center of the steel roof. Absolutely. Data on the island so he can sing to you. Oh, we don't want that. I said don't say this. No. I'm just reading what you said. I mean, the story is obviously true. I don't know why you personally don't believe it, but it will be a shame to not see you on the show anymore. That's and when I read about you in the newspaper. Trailer was empty reefer, lots of foam. Oh, was it a reefer? Okay, that's even better. Between the foam and the air, yeah. Very buoyant. Right, nice word too. I wanted to be a gynecologist, but couldn't find any good openings. Aviator trucker, nice. I will say that growing up, when I would see my dad, my stepmother working for an OBGYN, and she had for many years. She would have all this kind of goofy stuff, and I was just a stupid kid. I didn't know anything. Believe me, I barely know anything now. But she'd bring home a bunch of pens and paper and stuff, and I would take these pens to school, not thinking anything about it. And they were all for medications that a woman might use for different things that might be wrong with them. That is only something that might be wrong with a woman. But I didn't know that. Okay, so I just grab a pen, and go to school. And I wondered now, looking back at it, why some of the teachers looked weird at my pens or whatever. And they probably saw that on there and they knew what it was, but I didn't know what it was. Because when you're in the chess club, okay, you don't exactly know what the things on the pen mean, believe me. Googled it, semi-truck seen floating in the river near Wenatchee, Washington. Okay. How do you feel about UPS and UPS being off today, USPS? Well, I mean, it's a paid holiday. A lot of people are off today. So if they can work it out for their union, I'm all for it, right? Helps if you have a diploma from medical school and don't send an application. Oh, an orange crayon. Well, that's why I get rejected for that stuff. I meant to say a monopole antenna at 45-degree angle changes the phase of the signal. Ham radio operators don't do this because we understand antenna theory. Right. That's what I'm saying. You don't see hams with 12 antennas on their car all pointed in different directions generally. Absolutely. I just finished preparing lunch for my autistic son and need to get going. Very much enjoyed your podcast, Mark. God bless. Dennis, well, thank you very much for that. And I wish you well with that. Okay. It is hard work and it will be very enjoyable work throughout your life, I hope. And come back anytime, right? Mark was the king of junior high school with his Midol pens. They had that and many other things on there, believe me. Some of them were like prescriptions and stuff, but I'm sure the teachers that were women knew what some of them were, and now looking back on it, I realize what they are too. But I would took a lot, and papers too. I'd get papers and take them to school, not think anything about it. She had tons of the stuff that they would get from the drug manufacturers coming in to bribe the doctors. But I didn't think about it then. Al Johns, the Clintons need to talk after the show. It seems you have a call coming in. Cassius Skin is a freelance gynecologist. You don't want to be that. One is plenty. What? I'm confused, Joan Harper. Well, you should have seen the pens. I know of a race team named after a female health product, Daily Fresh, some sort of... Yeah, I don't know what that is, certainly. I barely know what they are now. Antenna Theory, great band name. Oh, that would be, right. If you're a giant sucker, you buy a screwdriver antenna. I've seen these huge antennas with these big coil things on them and stuff for a CB. Oh, that's great. All 4 watts of that going through that? Pretty far from Jersey. They don't scare you. Yeah, there'd be no way for anybody to get you unless you were in the area of where they live, right? Oh my gosh, how does a gynecologist come home to dinner and use a set of salad spoons? Nice. I don't know. All I'm saying is that I would take these pens in, and now looking back on it, I realized it was kind of weird, for the teachers seeing it. No one ever said anything to me about it, but I had these for years in high school, taking all this stuff in. Yeah. Do you think the $2 million minimum insurance is going to change anything? How many times do you do $2 million in damage? Well, it isn't the point of doing the damage, I guess, and it's very small. Cassius King Trucking had that number a while ago. It's a super tiny percentage of the accidents that go beyond the $750,000 now. It's the idea that you'd have to carry the coverage. But I still don't think you should have like minimum coverage for minimum budgets like they do on cars, 15, 30 or whatever. That's way low. But is $2 million way high? Yes. The higher it goes, the more you'll get sued for because they know that you're good for it. So you'll settle for a higher amount and insurance goes up. How much is that going to raise everybody's insurance if you're an owner-operator? Will it affect you at all? The House passed the $2 million, okay? The House passed it. It didn't go anywhere in the Senate yet. And they don't know if it'll pass through the Senate, but it did pass the House. Do you still have to pay the cost of having $2 million insurance? But you still have to pay it right. Mark Weiner, right. Right, exactly. So even though you won't use the $2 million likely ever, you'll have to pay for it. Like, do you just carry, maybe people do you carry like the minimum insurance on your car, which is like $1,530 or whatever? That's like not enough even to basically buy a car anymore. So in some states it's $1,530. Like I have $250, $500 insurance on my car. Not enough, where people jump in front of me all the time, but enough where if you hit a couple Lexuses or something, you're going to still have coverage. Lexa, I guess they're called. So the minimum coverage is just for minimum budget. So I think maybe they should just raise it. It's $750 now, $1 million with hazmat. Maybe raise it at cost of living each year. I think that'd be a better way to creep it up rather than just a huge jump. That would work better for everybody. Cash Skin got his truck liability through the General. They sold me with Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah, that guy sells everything. And, did you know the General's been in business for over 60 years providing quality insurance? The local Jewel supermarket by me is hiring. Jewel? For all positions union pay, they will never get new drivers with local supermarket paying more than a trucker pay. Yeah, Jewel. I didn't know there were any Jewels left. There was one in Lansing that closed years ago. It was always union. It was expensive. Dominic's and all that, yeah. It's going to be tough to get drivers when all these other jobs are going up. I will tell you, look, you can go here to McDonald's and make $600 a week. That's 40 hours at $15 an hour. And I called these places in the last couple of weeks because a number of people said to me, Mark, yeah, fast food, but they won't give you any hours. So I called a couple places around here. They're all willing to give you 40 hours a week. No problem. That's $600. You could then Uber for another 20 hours a week at least $20 an hour. That's $400 more. That's $1,000. And be home every day and set your own schedule with the Uber time. So yeah, until trucking really steps up, the people that left trucking or got laid off, or like these fuel haulers, which many of them were laid off because people weren't using as much fuel, why would they go back to that? And so I agree. I don't know what they're going to do about that. or use a digital 2-meter and can't reach around the world on a half watt. Obviously, I'm using an open spot through the internet to remote repeaters. Signal is much clearer than analog. Yeah, sure, the IRLP, all everywhere, right? Is there going to be a forced stimulus check? They said no. I just read about that, and no. Apparently, if you have kids, you're getting extra money, but the rest of us, we're going to have to go to work. Kevin, I happy I made the entire show. Thanks for making another Monday great again. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate you starting at the beginning and making it all the way through. Digital 2 meters, the automatic trucks of the AM world. Look, it's a way to get around the world on a handheld. Okay, so they carry full on my cars. Where'd I go? For now, when I pay them off liability, Al John's full. Yeah, but you can have full, which would be comprehensive, right? Depends on how much you want. You can have $1 million of liability. You can have $15,000 of liability. You know, 30,000, 40, 80. It depends. I don't recommend people take the comprehensive off their car until their car's worth under $1,000. As long as the car's worth something, why would you not pay the extra $20 or $30 a month or whatever for comprehensive, a few $100s a year, when the car might still be worth $5,000, $8,000, $10,000? You know, somebody totals it, boom, you're out your money. Drivers who tilt their CB antennas forward also wear flip-flops and their pants hanging below their butts. That's correct. And they also have a large gear shifter. And I only mean the one in the truck. If they do raise the minimum to $2 million, they're going to tie it to inflation and adjust it every 5 years. Oh, so it'll keep going up beyond that. That's even better. The price will continue to go up. Mark said if he gets 100 likes, he'll sing the Roller Weiner song. That's for After Dark, right. Don't look at the $2 million insurance as a challenge. What is it? So when it's paid off, it's free. Right, exactly. Always carry comprehensive on the car and until it's only worth $1,000. Jewel Osco should start selling ammo. In some of their neighborhoods, they need to. I'm begging for hours. Went in this morning asking for work, and I'm off. They refused me. Around here, the places I called to McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's around here that have these big signs out, and they're like, yeah, 40 hours. So I don't know why you wouldn't get hours. Go somewhere else. Or your car, I don't think it's too old where you could Uber with it. You know, I don't know. What year is it? You can go to 06 right now in Indiana. Hot sauce, Cheetos hot sauce, and Dum Dums. Nice. Ever notice cars all have the same designation today, like SLE? Not as cool as they used to be, like 400 or 429. Right, well, right, or titanium or whatever, platinum. Exactly. Then I worked 10 to 4 tomorrow and wanted to go in at 7. They refused me. Go work somewhere else. I mean, that is the thing. These places cannot gripe. Does the place where you work, do they have a big sign that says now hiring? See, that's what would bother me more. If I wanted to work more and they're like, no, but we're still hiring, that would aggravate me. You going to do a longer show today? We're already going longer, right? We'll go a little bit longer. Also, you get glass and whatnot. Thank you, Mark. This time today with you helps me keep problems off my mind. George Wilson, well, I appreciate it. And I apologize for what happened to you. That's do encourage everybody. Look, no matter what, if you're 20, 60, 90, right, whatever you want to do, go do it. Go do it. Make it decide right now and go do it. The challenge is to make a claim to someone else's insurance. You don't have that problem if you have your own insurance, right? My 200-watt Galaxy CB identifies as a 4-watt. It better, because it's illegal. So, a good question, which I always ask CB users that upgrade their CB and everything, to talk to who, and why don't you go get a ham license and go talk wherever you want legally. Then you can have a scanner, a mobile scanner legal, all that kind of stuff. It's more than 20 or 30, but maybe it's my insurance company. It can't be that much money. I mean, it just cannot be. For 2 cars and homeowners, I'm paying like a $125 a month, and the one car and 10,000 miles on it. So insurance is not that much. Maybe you should call Shaq. The $2 million insurance is going to cost the average owner operator about $1,000 a month. Wow. $250 a week. That's a problem. That is a problem. What if you're a JCT? Wow. You don't even make $1,000 a month at JCT. You don't even have that money to give them. I have full coverage on mine plus towing and car rental. Yes. A lot of it comes with that, and glass coverage comes with some of them. Right, I got glass coverage at Ford, which I recommend, right? The triple care, so glass is covered for the time I own the car. Towing is covered during the manufacturer's warranty, and then Geico covers it, and they cover a car rental. So I'm in, right? I agree with you. People can hit you and they don't have any insurance. Now what? Now you got a problem. Mine is an '09, but I have bumper stickers. Cover them up. I mean, look, you could temporarily cover them with tape. Seriously. Like dark tape, and then if you wanted to keep them. And then you could remove that tape at some later time, if that was something that was important to you, rather than not have any money. Mark, are you a smoker? I remember working at a road company that told me they couldn't smoke in the truck as well as no pets. I am not, but I kind of agree with them. All right, no smoking, because it ruins the truck. Can you imagine somebody that smokes in the truck with it, all day, and they live in that truck for weeks or whatever? Kind of agree, right? They do. Just cover them up then. I would rub, how about this? Put like olive oil or something on them and cover a huge piece of tape over them so the tape sticks to the bumper so it can't be red. And then when you pull it, it won't pull the stickers off. So you could do that and still get those extra hours in that you want to do on, say, Uber or something like that. It's a possibility. Wherever there's an opportunity like that, there's some kind of problem, there's always a solution. I put my winter beater in a truck during a whiteout. What did it do? Paid $13 for the car. The rental car to get home was $12. Mark vapes roller wiener juice. That is the best. And you can get that at your local smoke shop. Pay $1,500 in deductible. That's huge. All the tar wanted some money for hauling crap off the highway. You have a ham license. All right. They're probably different in each country. What is your snack of choice while driving? I've fallen in love with trail mix. Problem is they eat the whole bag. Yeah, anything you bring it with you, you eat. So I don't take anything with me, other than a couple of jugs of water, which are actually Gatorade bottles, Powerade bottles. So that's all I take with me. Otherwise, right, you take whatever you take with you, you eat. Joan, I need a ham license. My insurance is $600 a year in my car with just liability. Yeah, ham license wouldn't help you with that. That's a lot. What, $50 a month? All right, that's not terrible. I guess that's not terrible. You hope Ford brings back the LTD? That'd be interesting. I have underinsured and uninsured. You need that because other people don't carry insurance. Like fruit, grapes, or watermelon. It's hard to eat a watermelon. You got this huge thing. You're trying to get this, cut it open. It's like you're trying to drive. It's sitting on the steering wheel, leaking juice everywhere. That's the problem with eating a watermelon. It's just unwieldy. Geico, slow down. I changed the Geico years ago and saved a bunch of money. And I'll tell you, they're very good. When someone in the house wrecked a Focus that we had, not me, Geico was very good about paying it off and everything. Like, boom. They're like, bring it over here. Took it to their place in town here on the other side of town. And he had a rental car for me. The insurance guy who I talked to on the phone met me there with a rental car from Enterprise because it's part of the insurance. It was a Kia Soul. Very disappointing. And that was it. Next day he goes, yep, we're totaling it, frame bent or whatever. It's like 7,000 miles on it, by the way. And they had a check to Ford, I don't know, within 2 weeks. Car paid off. I kept checking up. Boom. Your car's been paid off. Congratulations. And before the rental period was up, I went back and got another car. Actually, when I had that arranged, I took the car back to Enterprise and had Enterprise drop me off at Ford instead of bringing me home because they'll pick you up. And picked up an Escape at that point. Not this one, a different one. So they're very good. I recommend Geico. They handled it no problems. No problems at all. Deductibles $150 in Freedom coins. That's better. Okay, the conversion. That's better. Why is the shipping industry so messed up lately? Everybody's buying everything online, getting the stuff delivered to their door. Mark waits for the lizard to make house calls. It's then barbecue time. Yeah, they got to come here. I use Geico, 2 vehicles, full coverage, $104 a month. Yeah, right. It's a bargain. It's a bargain with all these extra coverages. And if you buy a new car at Geico, like I always tell people, for $10 a month extra, they give you a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So no repair costs more than $250 for that time. So that's pretty good, too. I recommend it. I got that. Joan, someone hit me in 2015 from behind and totaled my Camaro. Then I got the Focus. That's a disappointment. To total a Camaro? Dang it. I'd have to cut off of my mullet if I was driving a Camaro still. Mullet. I just picture this like 74, long-nosed Camaro or whatever. But yeah, so then you get the Focus. It's new enough to go on Uber if you'll cover the stickers up. And honestly, you wouldn't have to cover them because they don't do an inspection, but If somebody turned you in for it, you'd get in trouble for it. So I would recommend covering them, absolutely. And you don't have to wash it every day. If it doesn't get washed, I recommend showing up clean with the car. But look, it qualifies otherwise, right? 4 doors, that's all you got to do. And the air's got to work in it, so I don't know if that works. People would certainly gripe at you today. It's super hot out without air conditioning. Look, it's a way to make extra money on the side. Absolutely. It's Mr. Plow. Goodness, thank you very much for the extended show. We're into overtime now. That's correct, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that today. Thank you. Connecticut is considering a vehicle miles traveled tax. What do you think about that? I'm all for it. I'll tell you that. If they end the fuel tax, no fuel tax at the pump. How about that? Only vehicle miles traveled. That way electric cars, Teslas, as all these pompous idiots say, and all these other cars would be able to pay the rate on the road. So, yeah, everybody pays the amount that they drive, vehicle miles traveled. They were talking about it for semis, but I'm all for it for all cars. If they end the tax at the pump, no pump tax that year, that place, only vehicle miles traveled, I'm in for it. Who is coming to the Truckers Jamboree? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller's still thinking about it. So, thinking about the Truckers Jamboree, it's the 10th, which is Saturday. But it's a 600-mile round trip. Look, I'll come if you're going to be there. I'll come. But if nobody's coming, I don't know if I'm going to go to it. Running Uber there will get you in trouble. It's considered a gypsy cab. It's really a gypsy cab here, too. But you know what? The only reason is because cab companies don't like the competition. There's no reason cab companies over the years couldn't have started their own app or anything like that. They just don't like it. They don't like it, and that's too bad. There's really no reason that someone shouldn't be able to, start their own business running with their own car to pick people up on their own schedule whenever they feel like it. So cab companies don't like it because they're running junk cabs around. George Wilson, I want all truckers to demand that DC list trucking as a skilled trade and stop referring to us as unskilled labor. That is a problem. The government says we are unskilled labor. Unskilled labor. Saw a Tesla with taxi plates today. Well, in some states here, right, they are running Teslas as taxis. Yeah, so that's true. You can do that, some of them. Yeah, it's a 4-door and the air works. I'll check into it. It's worth looking into. It wouldn't cost you anything to check into it. Just cover the plates or the stickers and the air works. You're in. So 15 years old. When are going to review the new Ford Bronco? Well, they don't have one here yet, so that's a problem. They only have like 10 cars at the Ford dealer. We got to get one in before I can look at it. And the way to go, of course, is the 2.3 and the 7-speed automatic and the 7-speed manual in it, right? But that's not how most people will get it. That'd be plenty of power, 300 horsepower that way, out of the 2.3 EcoBoost in it. There's a 6-cylinder, but you can only get the automatic with it, so disappointing in that. You come in like a scab with no overhead and low ball. Well, taxi companies have hosed people for years. And in this town, in Lafayette, Indiana here, the taxis here are LeSabres and Oldsmobile 88s, most of them. And they're from the late 90s to early 2000s, last years for those cars. So would you rather take a 99 LeSabre for your ride, or a new car that somebody is using for their own car and they're taking care of it? How about that? That thing is, cab companies, they always gripe, well, they're getting it through an app and all that. Well, okay, Yellow Cab, go develop an app and let people call a cab that way. You could do a cab here, call them, it could be an hour before a cab shows up. Uber, somebody shows up in a couple minutes and picks you up. If a cab company wants to compete, let them compete then. Let them compete on service if they're so great, but they can't do that here. How much did Geico raise your rate when you let them know you were doing Uber? I don't do Uber that much, and so they wouldn't raise your rate. They'd probably cancel you. And that is the downside of Uber is the insurance. There are places that sell it. I think State Farm. It's State Farm sells you insurance for rideshare. There are a few places. I think I read it. State Farm is one of them that's selling special rideshare insurance. So that's how they do that, right? I only do this once a week now for this $100 bonus they're giving out. Every week, for probably the 3 or 4 weeks now, they've been giving a $100 bonus for 3 rides. So you're out there for an hour or 90 minutes getting 3 rides and making $130, $150. That's great money. Well, if they're in the dark ages, yeah, they're in the dark ages here. I'm not running a car from last century around, Uber drivers in Finland must be tested and licensed as taxi drivers. What does tested mean? Then COVID had drivers fist fighting over customers. Tourist industry crashed. Well, yeah, it turns out those drivers didn't have anybody to take at that point. Fuel drivers working 65 hours a week for the past driver, this fuel driver. That's a lot of hours. And that's what these companies are coming up against, too. They're burning people out. There's no point, almost no point, in being local if you're going to work 65, 70 hours. In fact, I was looking at some of the runs we had the other day. I was in the office. There's a 68. There's one run that was scheduled for 69.9 hours sitting there on the paperwork. I'm like, what are you guys doing to people? Well, that's how long this run needs to go. I'm like, who do you get to do that? I go, what idiots do you have doing this? Nobody wants to do that week in and week out, week in, week out. Nobody wants to do that. I go, especially for what you guys are paying. So nobody wants to work, and that doesn't include a pre-trip or whatever, so you're probably over those hours. That's too many hours a week. The money's not worth it. Remember, money's never worth that kind of time when you're taking from your family. I don't think so. Uber doesn't have the stuff that costs, which makes the competition uneven. Well, yeah, like a car, like taxis. You know, the taxi, they're leasing that car to the driver for $75 per 12 hours. Okay, do you think they've gotten their money out of that car at $150 a day, $4,500 a month for a car that's worth $3,000? Okay, but they don't make any money? Okay. George Costanza, competition makes companies better. Taxi cabs and taxi companies always have been terrible. This is why we have Uber. If they weren't terrible, they wouldn't have competition. Necessity breeds invention. That's right. If they were so great, Uber would have never got started because people would never use it. They go, well, there's nothing wrong with a cab. Except there is something wrong with the cab, and that's the problem. That's the problem. If they have insurance and whatnot, do they make any money with Uber rates? I don't know. I've got Geico, and they've got a clause in there. If you do rideshare, they have to be notified. Cash is king. Yeah, they have to be notified, right. Also, you can't, I don't know about your car, but you can't finance a car and do it. So you have to be careful about that. They could deny you for that. There was a guy in a Nissan Sentra. I remember reading about this. He had his Lyft and Uber sticker in the back window. Because I guess where he works, they have to do that to get in the airport. Well, he had an engine problem, and at 50-some thousand, and took it in, and it needed an engine, and they said, no, thank you. You can't use this car for business purposes. So he fought him, and he lost. They're like, nope. What do you think of companies like Carvana that deliver a car on scene? Would you buy one? Aviator Trucker? No way. No way. I'm huge on a used car. I have a strict policy on how I buy a used car. First off, I do all the research about the car. Then it goes on a 100-mile test drive with me at least. Then it goes to a mechanic of my choice on a lift, code scanned, full lift. Everything gets checked on it. Then we go back to the dealer to talk about it. So there's no way I'd buy a car without seeing it. I have the car for the better part of a day when I'm buying a used car. In a free market economy, you cannot have a monopoly without government. Taxi cabs were a monopoly because the government didn't allow anyone else to compete. The TLC keeps others out, right? And so then they had no incentive to give people a fair rate or better service because there's no competition. Now they have to compete. Now they're mad about it. Taxis are terrible. You have to have a fleet to make any money. Also be connected to a big booking service. Oh, like Uber? Right, exactly. They could have built that over the years and didn't. Aviator Trucker, I bought some top ramen in the other day and it was on the bottom shelf. Nice. There's tons of it here. Old job I had a taxi cab. It was more of a hassle than it's worth, keeping drivers and keeping it working. Well, I think it's $75 per 12 hours, 30 days a month, $4,500 a month for the cab company for maintenance or whatever. On a car that's worth $3,000 at best is ridiculous. There's a tough test on taxi rules you must pass. I took it 5 times before I passed. Had to take it in Finnish, and I'm the worst at other languages. Oh, I'd have a really tough time with that because I don't know any Finnish at all. So I probably wouldn't pass that test. But yeah, here there's literally hardly any tests, I'm sure. Buying a car unseen is for dummies. You know who does it? As I've read a lot about it, young people. 20s, right, basically. They just do a couple clicks. Oh, I'm sure the car's fine. Right. And there's videos about people that had a great experience and then people that didn't have a good experience. You're much better off on a used car, taking it to a mechanic, test driving it on a long test drive yourself. Go do that. It's worth it. And then we have one key. Who drives a car with a key? Like, go make me a key. Taxi drivers are very naughty people. I don't know, those beaded seats. Just came up with the coolest 70s style riff. Gonna record it after the show. Please check it out. John's all right. I stopped doing Uber out 3 years ago because it became unprofitable. If you really keep track of the numbers, trying to do it full time, it's just not worth it. Yeah. Oh, I agree. Full time is harder. But part time, when they're giving, and here you would even admit this, I think, right now, and it's been a few weeks now, each week, 3 runs, just deliver 3 people, and you get an extra $100 beyond what they pay. So you're getting $125 to $140 or so for 3 people. That's it. And so it's never taken me more than 90 minutes to do that. So $130 in 90 minutes, $1.20 a minute, I don't consider that bad money. Most people don't make that at their job as an employee. I think that's pretty good. COVID money was good. I drove the airport mostly to Helsinki. I flipping love business visitors and travelers, tourists. Here you don't rent your cab. Oh, you own your cab and then you have your own company connected to a switchboard, bigger company. So it's kind of like Uber. Kind of. There is too much corruption in the issuing of taxi cab medallions. Oh, yeah, you had to buy a medallion for your car, right? And through the whole thing, it's a total disaster in New York City. Fuchsia say, man who go to bed with hard problems often wake up with solution in hand. Very nice. Last time they did a raid at Alena Airport, they busted a lot of cabs. I'm sure some of that happens here. Good afternoon, Market Trucking Answers. Keep on trucking. Well, Bon, hey, it's good to see you here today. 10 of them weren't even taxis. That happens. Sorry, my attention deficit disorder is killing me. Going to call it. All right, we'll call it that. Fake cabs with plates and the stippling on the car. Oh, the car reader is busted. Do you have any cash? See, that doesn't happen with Uber. Everybody is paid before they show up. No problem, right? It's all through the app, which I like. There's no money changes hands too. And for part-time, when you're picking up an extra 100 for 3 rides in 90 minutes or whatever, I think that's good money. Now, doing it for full-time, could you do it? I think you could do it. Depending on how much money you want to make, I think it's $1,000 a week is possible to $1,500 a week around here from what I've seen, if you wanted to do it full-time. Liberty claims you can customize your car insurance. Problem is all insurance companies allow this practice. Right. That's true. Right. You can always customize. I want more or less coverage. Yeah. DFW charges a toll just to enter $4 for the first 15 minutes, but 16 to 30 minutes is $2, Jason. You'd have to figure that all in if you were actually taking somebody. Is this worth it to pick somebody up there? See, I don't have an airport problem here. No airport, and even Indianapolis Airport, the cell phone lot is free if you were sitting in it. Joint venture with the tax man, the cops, and the DMV. Checked everything. I'm sure. Some of the places are more regulated than others. Here, the taxis are loosely regulated, and they're poor, and they're old, so they're not worth it. You might sit for an hour waiting for an old cab that might show up, and it might be clean or whatever. No, so the cabs get competition that way. If they don't like it, the cabs should provide better equipment and better service, and that service would cost more. They took a CPL set of plates and whatnot. What's a CPL? Canadian cabs? They begged for it. Right, exactly. That's how that would work with the Canadian cabs. Let's see, where was I on that? Oh, the Carters are going to celebrate their 75th anniversary. What do you think about that? 75th anniversary. And in the ads, that's what I wanted to talk about too. I've been seeing a lot of ads for trucking companies. Road companies. They forever have ad. Here's another ad. Here's another. Come and work for us. We're so great. And what are all the comments in the ads? I noticed this. The comments are, what's the home time like there? What is the home time? Maybe companies should work on that, because that is by far the majority of comments. Hey, what's my home time going to be? What's my home time? When am I going to get home? Companies are going to need to figure that out. Because people in the last year figured out, you know what, I might not come back to see my family or whatever. So it's important that people get home. How about, doing relays and stuff like that? I know for years Swift has done relays across the country with day cabs. I've seen that. And I've talked to these drivers and they're like, yeah, I just relay this. They're going to have to do more of that kind of stuff if they expect to get any drivers. I think so. Because the ads, now people are not asking what it pays. When can I get home? Mark lives so far in the sticks, they just have an IROC pickup launch pad. Right. I will say in 10 minutes, probably I could be in a cornfield. So that's how it is living here. But in an hour, I could be in Indianapolis, which is also nice. Oh, couple of plates. Oh, all right. So I didn't know each place has its own plate thing. I don't know. So that's what I saw in those ads. This truck driver got arrested, right? So I did all that, right? So I don't want to hold everybody up for the whole day here. Somewhat off topic, but for your safety, ransomware attacks on 1,000 companies could affect anything. Power grid or traffic lights? Yeah, I think so. Wouldn't affect me, but yeah, all that stuff, anything that's connected to the internet can be taken over. Absolutely. Absolutely. We don't think about it, but, look, they shut off the pipeline or whatever. Yeah. And we're like, oh, whatever. Windows 95 downloading. George stands in D.C. You can make $1,500 every week. I made $700 just Friday nights and Saturday nights. They paid for my beer money while I was in college. See, so $1,500, I don't think that's bad money on setting your own schedule. Now, I will say if you did it full time, you should probably get your insurance set up and all that, because then it's even more risk. It is a risk on short term, but doing it full time, no. You'd want to do that for sure. Get your insurance would cost you more money. But I do think you could make a living at it full time. Probably close to what some drivers make on the road. Jason, my uncle owns 10 taxis in Nicaragua. All he does is lease them to drivers. He gets 25% of the revenue, and the drivers are responsible for maintaining and fueling. Oh, so that sounds like Prime. Does your uncle run Prime? Look, if it works out there, it might work out better there. It's here at 75 in Lafayette for 12 hours for the cab, and you fill it up. And then it's 50-50 of the meter. Joan, in 50 steps, you can be in a cornfield. You're closer than me. I got to drive to one. Have you run any loads to Denver lately? Nope, not lately. It's a cluster with unmaintained roads, horrible routes, and bad traffic. Good luck stopping at the SAP or the TA. I'm boycotting Denver. If it's bad, don't go there. I agree. That's how the cities learn. George, when I was a kid, me and my mom got in a cab in the loop of Chicago, and she said it smelled like a tavern, and we got out. That's the problem, right? If you get a couple of those on Uber, they'll boot you off the system. What does the cab company do? Nothing. Nothing. Couple of those, though, it's a problem. I maintain a 5-star rating on Uber. I used to follow the schedule of large international flights to zip to the airport and wait like a spider. There's a lot for that at Indianapolis, a cell phone lot, where all these drivers sit and wait. I've been a Geico customer for years. I've had a few claims over the years, at least 20 years. They're great. They're awesome. Dealing with the claim, I thought it was going to be a big hassle or whatever. No way. No problem at all. As soon as he said the car's going to be totaled, he goes, we're going to get a check to Ford. And it was just that simple. 7,700 miles on the car. He goes, I'll give you the loaner for like another 12 days or something. This Soul, which was disappointing still. And then turn it in. He goes, and we're done. And I did. Enterprise gave me a ride back. They're great. I mean, the price is good. They handled it. No problems. Didn't give me any grief about it at all. The driver must have drank lunch. Maybe. Right. So the Geico handled it, and I loved it. So, look, it's after 3. I don't want to hold people the whole day here. And so I'm going to head on out, I think. And I hope everybody is doing good. I got all my news here going on. I will get the podcast going out. If you're going to be at the Jamboree, write to me. Let's see. Also, if you're going to wear it, of course, make it a pair. This baby's got it going on, and you should too, certainly, right? Also want to thank Cash is King Trucking for being here. As always, go over there and check out the channel. And why don't you go subscribe to his channel? That'd be even better. Because he's got way more videos than me going on over there. He's probably been live 4 times in the last hours. It's a great channel, very informative. I hope that you'll go check it out. And always, Pan Am is there to serve you for your next international flight. Please use Trucking Answers for a discount. And don't forget about Jay if you want to learn about the automotive industry. I don't know about hauling cars, but Jay does, right? He's live, and he's got a couple of the live shows, too. I need to update that, really. I haven't done it in a while. I should. I'm behind on that. I need to get it done. Why don't I get it done? I should, anyways. First today was Kevin, and I'm No Veggie was first the other day, whatever that is. No Veggie, and I didn't see him here today, so pretty good. Trucker Hershey and then Cash is King Trucking were very close to each other those days. So I'll head out today. I hope everybody got paid for today, too. At least something extra. At least employees. All right, employees. James Bowman was here today, so I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate everybody here today. Believe me. I don't know if there'd be anybody on a holiday or whatever. It's hot out today, too. Kelterusu Travels, thank you for being here. Roger Penske was here today, which I appreciate. JJ, it's good to see you. Joan Harper, check into that. Let me know what you find out, okay? So I'm interested too. Jason, what's going on? That's good to see you here today. And let's see. Oh, George Costanza was here. The Hool, I appreciate it. And Aviator Trucker, thank you for being here. Al Johns, thank you for coming in. Wilbon79. All right. And let's see, as I go up there, I always lose my spot. I wish I got better at that. I never do. I should, though. It's Mr. Plow was here today. Caleb Radke was here today. Ralph, it's good to see you. Let's see, where did I go off to? Trucking Journeys was here today. Mark Ely was here today. And I have to go up right there. Columbia George was here today. Al Johns, good to see you. Thank you very much for being here. And so I'm moving on to this right here. And Rico, and I will UP Trucker Bob. And I appreciate everybody being here. Let's see, here's this. Oh, right there. I can get these clicks doing right anyways. I do want to thank everybody for being here today and every day. So there'll be more videos. And the podcast information will be out this week. If you want to download that to your Zune, it will be available on Zune and stuff. As soon as I see why it didn't go out. Okay, so it's set up. I actually have one recorded, but it just didn't go out, and it will. So keep that in mind. I hope that you'll listen. And that's how it's going to go. All right. So have a great day. Stay cool today.